Trade worked out just fine. We took our profits earlier in the day. My 105 closed it out at 20 cents. It could have hung out all day. I was fortunate to grab a little tiny scalp at the end of the day. Wasn't like fantastic. I was trying to give myself one of those risks where I basically sold I think I did a 6,900. So I sold the 6,900 and I bought the 6,950. That trade filled for, so 6,900, 6,950. That filled for $48. $48, and we cash settled at 6,946. I was looking for a bit more downside into the end of the day. I didn't get it, but I still grabbed a couple $100 out of that trade. It wasn't really, I was obviously wanting to take that trade up here into like our higher levels, but that's very rare to hit like the VIX box high, right? So I'll recenter my daily profit indicator. We've got some gamma to the upside, maybe even testing that 7,000 handle by today or tomorrow. If the upside push and drift continues. So let's recenter this at 69.46. Let me get the chat up and running for everybody. Okay, so chat is open. Good and good. All right, Keith in the house. Greg is here. Good for daily profit play. All right, very nice. Sharita says, I'm really willing to ride that train with you. Very nice. What's happening, Donna? Yeah, I'll use it. I'll use black. See if this will. Yeah, so 6,900, 6,950. That worked out for a couple of bucks late in the day. And anyway, so let me resend to this 69.46. 69.46. Current VIX trading around 17.5. I mean, we look left, it's like we're coming back to like early February VIX lows. Quite the smash in volatility after a 22 peak, all the way down to 17.5. It's like we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously we've seen many flare-ups already this year. We could be due for another one. Let me see if I can just move this down. I will see if we go even lower, sub 17. If we go sub 17 VIX, then expect more upside. Right? So we shall see. Let me see what I've got a couple currency pairs running right now as well. Some chart alarms. All right, so we'll recenter our levels plus or minus 49.40. That seems a little. I mean, it seems a little high with the VIX at 17, but 17.58 is still capable of a 1+% move. If you do the math on a 17.58 VIX, 17.58 divided by 16, it's still a 1.1% move. Gap wise today, we're looking at a very minor gap to the upside, 0.08%. Here is my near term gamma. This is pre-market, so decent size around 69.75. Another smaller one around 69.90. Real time, we'll see what that does right at the open. Let's go to our live app here. So today's the 26th. Tomorrow is the end of the month as we wrap up trading Friday. I'll be coming to you live from the Midwest tomorrow. I'm traveling to Chicago today. I'll be making my way to Purdue University tomorrow morning and just crashing with my nephew before I watch the basketball Friday evening. So that'll be a new backdrop for me. But tomorrow's expirations, again, all this can change so quickly in a zero DT landscape, but it just looks like right now the backstop is we're in positive gamma territory, drift. Markets, reaching, grabbing, clawing, scraping for new highs. So here's 7,000 plus. I mean, there's a lot of resistance as we hit those 7,000 levels. Doesn't mean I necessarily want to short it because, as we talked about, with the tops at 7,000, unless this thing is going to turn aggressively, right? Unless this is going to turn aggressively where we hit, 7,000 and then fall back to 6,800, which would be an excellent trade, right? But if we hit 7,000 and we break through it, we're bullish until 72.26. And from there, I would just draw this type of trend line and say we shouldn't be bearish on this thing unless we, hit a measured move and we roll over hard and we're kind of breaking the structure. I mean, again, could you see this where we put in this really solid floor here, market drifts and goes higher, rolls over to the same level, that to me, I could say we put in, the longer neckline, and then it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy if the market's going to limp into the close this year or have a bigger correction. But that is, price has to prove that it wants to do that. And if it doesn't, and price just stays structurally bullish on the upside of this trend line, there's no reason to be bearish. If we're breaking here and we have a pullback, a pullback, a pullback, a pullback, I mean, who knows what the market's going to do? But I can't really technically justify being bearish unless we're, breaking that trend line later. Does that make sense? So we'll see what happens. I still, just because I don't mind the setup, if it's a low risk trade, I wouldn't mind still taking that trade. Like I'd throw $200 at it, right? Throw $200 at it and try to make $10,000 to $20,000 on the downside. Even if that's the trade setup, it's like I'd try it, and even if it turns into $500 to $1,000 of profit, I still take that trade. I still take that risk. So we'll see. We'll see if 7,000 actually holds. But it could also be a throwaway trade where if we break 7,000 going up to 7,200, I have to have some bullishness to go with it, right? So I can have like an asymmetric or a high reward opportunity if I'm right on the downside, but otherwise we have to keep participating with the market, most likely looking technically to break out. Which, I mean, seasonality wise, it'd be hard to think that we're going to just break out in February, March, April, and just run through this market. I mean, I was just talking about this in an earlier session this morning. It is possible that the market's next big test is going to be like May. I mean, February, March, April, I thought we'd have a pretty big weakness window. May is a new Fed chair, right? When Powell officially steps away and it's a new Fed chair talking at the press conference for the FOMCs, maybe that's the market's way of testing the new Fed. What's his stance going to be? How is he sounding in a press conference? Is he getting drilled? Is he a loyalist? I don't know. I just kind of one of those, like, in the back of my mind, what would the market think or do with a new Fed chair? I don't know. We'll find out, right? Let's see here. We are in the CRM trade expiry tomorrow. Results are out now. Yeah, but it's up. So I mean, there's no risk on this trade to the upside, right? So I mean, we caught like a 2-day bid on CRM. Our strikes are down here to 175. So what I want to do is, like I said yesterday in these bonus trades, if you're in these bonus trades with me that we posted here, Microsoft, Palantir, Oracle, CRM. So if we come back into 175, 170 area, this low is 175. My trap's at 170. So if we come back to this low at all today or tomorrow, then we're looking at some profit trap opportunities. If we go to what's the other one? Microsoft. If we come back to 380, 250, that's a profit trap. Palantir and Oracle. Palantir, if we come back to like 125, that's a profit trap. If we come back to, I think Oracle was 135. Oops, Oracle. We're at 148. We come back to this. It wasn't just a recent low a couple days ago. It was last week down to 135. We keep an eye on that, right? So we can look at those today and see if, I mean, I don't think they're going to show us any profit. It's probably going to be more into today's close or tomorrow's open. But if we go into CRM, there's nothing that I'm really doing on the trade. Like, there's my trap only. It's offering me a couple of dollars profit. I get $10 out of the trade, yippee skippy. But the whole point was, do we have a move back into like a 174 to 166 area? That's where our profit trap is sitting. Roar says only got filled on Oracle. Okay. I mean, did you get filled on, like, it doesn't matter at this point. Did you finesse the credits at all? So like CRM, I got a 10-cent credit. I mean, you could probably still take the trade for 9 cents, 9 or 8 cents. I mean, it wasn't really about the upfront credit. It was more about the profit trap at the lows, just in case. Okay. Can you give a butterfly and gold? I mean, I can. I just don't know if what's the butterfly that you want? I mean, if anything, gold to me is still pulling back into gold to me is pulling back into either the same lows. Here's GLD on a daily chart. Either we pull back into the same lows around 423 GLD, or we find I mean, this is a correction I've been measuring: high, low, lower high, lower low. Either some symmetry or 5-wave correction. When this is done, I'm definitely reloading the gold longs. So what's the butterfly that you're referring to? I mean, maybe a broken wing. I don't know. Do you want to call the top on gold? I don't. Right. I mean, this probably wouldn't be a terrible trade, but if you did a broken wing call fly and price heads lower, I mean, that wouldn't be a terrible trade. So if you expect gold to go to the downside, I mean, I wouldn't just buy puts. I think that's a pretty horrible trade, just because the IV and the price of puts are still pretty expensive. So going out, let's say 30 to 60 days. The tough part is you put a butterfly trade in like this, right? Let's say you put a butterfly trade in where this is your low risk debit and this is your profit trap. If you get this somewhat right on timing, let's say you went out 30 days, and let's say in 10 days this thing is somehow miraculously down into our butterfly trap. Well, if you still have 20 days left of expiration, you can probably turn a 100% plus winner, but you're not going to get like the 10-1, 20-1 type setup that you'd love to see on a butterfly spread, just because you're not the time is the one element that you're not super accurate on. But that is a cheap way to trade a gold pullback. We talked about yesterday, Roar. Like, I'm not going to make those official group trades, no, because that's way more risk than I'm really comfortable throwing out there as a service. But what I can do is, let me see, tomorrow. So I'll be in Indiana tomorrow morning for my live sessions. Um, I could try to do. Let me see if I can squeeze in a waterfall class tomorrow. Even if we did something at like 11:30 in the morning or noon, and just jumping in to talk more about these stacked positions. So I have them for May. I have them for June. I'll give you the trades that I'm taking. I'm just not going to make them official group trades because the reward to risk, it's a little bit higher than what we've been taking, right? I don't mind building up the trades that, getting $1 to risk 4, getting 50 cents to make 4, or I'm sorry, getting 50 cents to risk 450, but also packing in like $1,000+ profit traps. The other ones are just, it's on my larger accounts. I'm taking those where I'm risking, anywhere between $1,300 to about $2,200, but my profit traps have grown from like $1,000 to like $2,000 to $2,500. So I'm looking at like $2,000 profit traps, $2,500 profit traps, and I'm still going 10% lower at those, monthly expirations. So let me see if I can squeeze in a class tomorrow for waterfall income. Right. But it sounds like, those of you that are in waterfall income watch that stacked video trade. If you are interested, then sure, let's run a class, let's talk about it, and that way we can dive a little bit deeper into it. Cool. All right. So really quickly on gold, what do you want to do here? I mean, I think in the near term, maybe a broken wing call fly wouldn't be a terrible trade. Or there's a couple. I mean, we've got to be close to this thing being a Gartley pattern, which is a technical move. This isn't a bad trade here, right? So, I mean, looking at measuring this move out, I think I measured the symmetry to that green line. So if we go low, high, higher, low, higher, high, this area would be where I would say I'm a little bit more bearish on gold, at least in the technical sense, but it would be risk defined. Like, do not try to aggressively call the top on gold. I still think we could get there, but I'd be willing to kind of short this at like a 50, 53.35 zone, and just try to play price and time to the downside. Even a bear call spread that's low risk, high reward would work. Even a bear put spread would work for the debit side. So we'll see. I mean, good. That's Graham. So follow Graham. I mean, I'm not obsessed with any one thing. I grind my face off in the indexes. That's fine by me. So, I mean, I look at gold. It's like, look, long term, I want to be a gold trader and gold investor. I'm going to be patiently waiting for this daily 200 to get hit. I don't know how that happens, whether or not we go up, down. This market kind of has like a tuning fork where it just kind of becomes boring. I'm still going to invest in that. But if we have high, low, lower, high, lower, low, I'm going to invest in that. If we go for a fifth wave, I'm going to invest in that. Like gold, big picture. To me, if you're trading gold, big picture, you are investing in fear and you are, anti-fiat. which I think it's pretty safe that if you're betting on a certainty the government's going to print money, that's a big trade. If you're betting that the world and central banks want to take more physical gold, that's a pretty good certainty. Like, I know there's no dividend in gold, but I still think that it's going to serve a pretty good investment purpose, like it always has. Um, and other risks of gold. Sure, I listened to a segment last week with Tom Lee. I think he did. Michael Lewis, have you heard of him? The author that wrote The Big Short, Liar's Poker, Moneyballs, things like that. Great author. He was on a panel. It was a panel with Tom Lee and Michael Lewis, because Michael Lewis has always like done these great journalistic pieces after the fact. He did Flash Boys and all this like high frequency trading stuff with the Hummingbird Project, and he did the Big Short with Michael Burry. Anyway, really interesting segment because he is a deep dive into like some of these crazy black swans, these anomalies that the market has given us over the years. And Tom Lee is kind of labeled as like a permabull. But Tom Lee brought up some really interesting points on gold. And he actually outlined potential risks for gold, which would be, let's say that, Elon Musk and SpaceX explore space and we find a gold asteroid. Well, that takes away some of this awesome scarcity of gold, right? Let's say that we synthetically create gold and we have lab grown gold, takes away some of the value of gold. So it's not a sure thing. So everyone that is all in, and it's like it's nothing is sure. There's no certainty. I like gold. I think that it has a place in an investment portfolio. I think there are good trades to take on gold, but it is just that. It is just a trade. So technically speaking, now that we've had the mania kind of settle down, I'd like to still see opportunities to buy it lower, like in the maybe 4,400 zone. 200 EMA is around 4,100. I'm happy to scoop it up however we get there. I could also see price coming back up to the same highs again, failing at the highs, maybe working its way back down, buying an equal low. It's just a range that you buy low, and that's a good spot to hold back to highs. There's some good gains there. If we go higher, great. I'm seeing projected targets this year around like 60. I think JP Morgan had like a 6,300 target. I'm seeing 6,500 to even 7,000 targets for the year. Fine. I mean, does that mean anything? That's like saying that the S&P is going to be 8,000. Does anybody know that with certainty? No, nobody knows that with certainty. So if we think gold can go higher, there's a way to invest in it. So I go back to that, butterfly trade. To me, there's two ways I can trade gold that would be somewhat cost effective. If we get back to the highs, a butterfly trade. If we get back to the lows, a butterfly trade, right? So if price does go up, hopefully you have greater than 100% gain there to offset the potential risk to the downside. If we have greater than 100% gain here. So while we're on it, we can talk about this a little bit. We have opening bell here in about 7 minutes, but I wouldn't be opposed to a trade on GLD that is a butterfly maybe up here and a butterfly down here. And my pin price is going to be basically the highs. My pin price is going to be basically the lows. And let's say I can take this trade for $1 and it offers me, 10 plus. I take this trade for $1 and it offers me 10 plus. Well, if I get this even remotely right, in the hard part is picking the timeline here, but if I went out, 30 to 60 days, would this be cheap enough? And would I be maybe right in order to get price to gravitate one way or the other? So I don't mind looking at the trade. It's just, it's going to have to be a calculated bet for those trades. And if one is offering greater than 100%, you can lose one, win one, and still make money. And if price doesn't go anywhere, then sure, there's the risk, but he'd be low risk. Okay. So anyway, well, that's not bad. So this would be GLD around like a 425 pin. I'll write this down. So GLD. So 425 lows, or the spike up here was around 510. We can do like a 505 to 510 and just see what those kind of price out to be for a butterfly. I'd like to think that, we could get a debit of under like 50 cents to go after like 10 wide. That to me would be worth it. At my max risk, maybe $100, and I can make up to like $1,000 or better on a winner. Because all it takes is, one trade to get even remotely into my trap area, and I can turn $50 into maybe $200-$300, maybe $500 with a max profit of 1,000 or more. We'll see. So it just depends on what the actual trade looks like. Okay. And I still have dollar cost average levels. Yes. I'm still dollar cost averaging. You can see so I bought some at 475. I'm buying some more here around 405. I'm still keeping those trades in. I'm still going to keep those trades in. So would I adjust them? Maybe. I'd adjust it maybe to this 200-day moving average, which is now 410. So that'd be about it. But I still like it. Do we manage? I mean, maybe. We don't have to. Look, I closed out 2 engineered option trades for winners yesterday. We had some monthly expirations. We had an SPX 6915 by 6910. I closed it out for a winner. We had the 227 691 690. Right, you're talking about those trades tomorrow. I closed those out, Aurora. You saw that in Telegram, hopefully. So right here, trade number 29, close for profit. Trade number 32, close for profit. The 227 expirations I closed for profit because of NVIDIA earnings. I was playing it safe, better safe than sorry. So I took the profit. Right, you can see here the market's greater than 6,900. It's an encouraging sign that the bulls are back in control in the near term. NVIDIA earnings is a major catalyst either direction, which what we have today, NVIDIA beat earnings, maybe a little bit of a gap higher. Just in case it was going to be a potential fake out or another hit at the highs, let's say that we hit the highs at 7,000 and then we just, fail miraculously to the downside again. I wouldn't put it past the market to kind of stall at 7,000. So, just in case it was going to like open up today and fall, I don't want to be stuck with an expiration that doesn't pay me rather than trying to hold it all the way to tomorrow. So I'm out of those 227 trades and engineered options for 2 winners. We still have a trade that expires on Monday the 2nd. That's our trade that we got filled on this week. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right, we open up here in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Let's see here. Combination. Ed Brown says new. Yeah, thanks, Donna, for posting that. Yeah, do we have any new members in today? How many new members are popping in to Daily Profit Plan? Anybody that's brand new. So just a quick overview. We do this stuff every single day. All are welcome. Spread the news. We are here to kind of grind, and obviously I'm here to answer any questions and hopefully educate you on better trading. So these are the services that I run. I do have some really nice foundational education. So Kim, if you're new, Ed, if you're new, here is one of my little go-to sessions I will give you. This is a One Trade Mastery. It's like a 70-minute video. I've done this for just kind of it was like an ebook that was written on it. Trust content. Check it out. I'll post this in Zoom. So this is One Trade Mastery. Should just be an automatic play link. You can check that out at your convenience. If that starts to get you a little bit interested in how to think about the markets in terms of option trading, then you will probably love more foundational education, which is trading the markets up, down, sideways, or 13 of my favorite option strategies. Again, trading the market up, down, sideways. Getting into any of my services here, these are all members only paid services. So we trade every single day. We trade every single week. We trade every week heavily in the quarter with earnings. Pinch point scanner is a really nice volatility scanner where direction is right around the corner. We have like 10, 11 trades running right now that we just had a big masterclass on that last week. Engineered options, we trade this weekly and monthly. This is hedging the portfolio, and this is investing like I do when I manage accounts, which is a lot of taking advantage of margin, using some option strategies, using some premium selling strategies. For example, this week we pulled in $300 on the Dow. So I'm looking at trades like that and many more. This service is, it's very discretionary, but we have a 97.3% win rate. I also have a plan B when I can repair these trades. So anyway, there's something for everybody, right? There's always a way to get started. None of these strategies overlap. They're all very unique, which is by design because obviously I'm not trying to cannibalize my own trades. I want to have different ways to make money up, down, sideways. Okay. So appreciate some new peeps coming in and saying hi. Appreciate you prompting that, Donna. Thank you for that. Double up alerts. So double ups, what I'm looking for typically on double ups is I just need to see a good level. Like today, for example, if I want to be bullish, double ups would be like a butterfly spread going into, maybe trying to get a butterfly trade into like 69.75. If you get a butterfly trade in here or seeing if something can open up around 7,000. Do we just gap lower, by the way? I think futures just dipped to the downside. So futures just poked slightly red. We are, I mean, again, we've seen this many times now. It's like we have some high gamma disparity. I mean, look at how big the walls are between 7,000 down to 6,875. We're talking like 100 and some points. That's like a plus minus 60. And the move on the day was a pre market 49.40, right? So, I mean, is this the trade for the day as we just open up and fall all day? I would hope not. But I mean, markets seem to be at least opening up with a little nasty open. All right, getting another trade filled on Baidu. That was a project options edge. All right, let's have a look. So SPX, as long as we don't see like a ripping VIX this morning, we're now at a plus or minus 49 has become a 35.35, so about 36 points. We'll see if that is contained. I'm still not seeing any like big sticky gamma to the downside. So let's see here. I'm going to take, so delta wise, I mean, 95 to 7,000. Let me see if I can go. I might go like low deltas and see if I can go 10 wide here. That's a 6 delta. I mean, 6,800, that'd be a huge drop from today if we did it. 5 delta, that'd be 10 wide. Gap fill around 68.90. Just trying to think here. What else could we stack in? If I go 7,000 here, I mean, I could pull in a pretty safe dollar by trying to call the, like, essentially call the top. I mean, 7,000 could be tested today. I just think it'd be difficult to get there. It should be difficult to get there. We shouldn't really have a blowout move to the upside, right? Let me see something here. If I went 15 wide like that, I still don't even get a dollar. That's a lot of risk for $100 today. So let's see. I will try. I'm going to try 10 wide. Gosh, that's such a low premium. Let me just get a couple measure moves here before we dive in. So we kind of started right at the close yesterday. So I'm just going to go 49 points. We'll round up to 50, but let's go 50 points here. So 50 points puts us around 68.95. This is based on the market maker expected move this morning. And then to the upside, I mean, 46 that put us up towards the top around 7,000. There's our 49 to 50 right there. So this is where the prices should stay. So if I'm selling calls, it should be above 69.95. If I'm selling puts, it should be below 68.95. Gap fill has me a little bit more concerned. Ernesto says 15 wide, 7,000, 68.55 or $1.50. I mean, that's fine. For a 15 wide, I'd like a little bit more than a $1.50 though. 10 wide, I like $1.50. 15 wide, I like 2 plus if we can get it. So my question is, are we really going to rally all day today? I mean, we certainly can. Let me see here. 7,000, 70, 10. Let me see. I mean, these are low deltas here. Let me see what that gap fill would be. So that gap fills around 68.90. I mean, I would hope. I mean, we got the VIX box low at 68.70. So I'm going like really low delta here. All right, let me see if I can get this for a buck. I'll go 10 wide to get $1. If I can get this thing to fill for $1, I'll take the trade. So I'm going pretty low delta. Should be about 4.90. So where did we open this morning on? So we opened up on XSP around 694. Okay. So my 10 wide still only trading for like 80 cents. 10 wide, 68.90, 7,000. Okay. Are you in 7,000, 10? I'm not seeing that. Well, you're way higher than I am on the put side though. I'm going down to like a 68.40. So you're way higher on the put side than I am. That's the only difference. And again, I could obviously like put my puts higher. Um, I mean, 68.50 should be difficult to get to today. I could try that. 68.50 by 40 and 7,000, 70.10. I mean, that's much closer to getting filled at $1. Let me try. Let me try to get filled for a buck here. So there's a 40 by 30. Let me cancel this one. So I'm going to go 7,000, 7,010, 68.50, 68.40, trying to get $1. That's again pretty low delta. Should be a fairly low risk trade. Well, I should say it should be a high probability trade. I'm risking 9 to make 1, but hopefully this will get us filled for a buck. Iran news. I mean, they're supposed to be actually having a talk today. They should be having a talk today versus I don't think Trump needs another conflict on his hands, honestly. Um, I think it's going to be a de-escalation, if anything. That's another potential catalyst for price action, though. I mean, again, you can't trade a trade like this. You can't trade daily profit play scared. You have to manage risk. You got to place a trade. We've had plenty of examples where I talked myself out of a non-farm payroll trade. I talked myself out of an FOMC trade. I talked myself out of a GDP, CPI, PPI. Just follow the mechanics. You know, I'm playing very low deltas. I'm playing a 5 freaking delta. That's low, low, low. That's a 95% probability of profit, right? All I need price to do is fluctuate enough to get me filled at a buck. It's close. I'm not going to settle for it right now, but I'm going to see if we can get filled for $1. And also, I'm going to take the. So let me put this in the chat before I forget. So I'm going to go 7,000, 70.10 and a 68.50, 68.40. You know, that's quite a bit out of the way. Should be out of the way. Has it filled yet? No. And hopefully it will. I mean, I'd hate to see like a quiet nothing burger Thursday. But we'll see if we come down to like 69.20. ENOV just hit for profit, by the way. Pinch point scanner, another winner. Love it when that happens. I tell you, this is like my favorite thing. ENOV just hit profit, got in for $1.65, closed it out for $2.50. We'll take that win. So ENOV, trade number 109, just hit a 250 credit. So that is what? 250. So an 85-cent winner. Nice little 51.5% winner. We'll take that. Okay. ENOV on pinch point. Trade management. Trade 109. ENOV. Entry 165 debit. Closed 250 credit. 51.5% take profit hit. Broker auto close this morning. Love that. Okay, good stuff there. All right, SPX, we got to be getting close. Come on, 10 wide. Come on, 10 wide. I could do 15 wide and try to sprinkle in a broken wing. Let's go 7,000, 70, 15. 50 by 35. That gets me $1.15. Again, kind of what I did yesterday, which was a low risk trade. I'm going to take this trade I'm going to get some trades in and get some defense in. So let me try to go $1.10. All right. So I'm going to cancel. I'm going 15 wide today and I'm going to put in some defense. So trades in on daily profit play. New trade. So coming in for members right now, 226, 7,000, 68.50. Okay, so I'm in for $1.10. Again, that's a very low delta trade. It's certainly higher risk. I'm risking 13.90 to make 110, but now I'm going to put in some defense. Okay, so I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit of defense here for $1. So that's a $1,000 profit trap. And I'm trying to think if I can get another one in here. Maybe I get a profit trap in this area. So that'd be a 10 wide profit trap to defend the upfront. Oh, fudge him. I mean, I guess the point of playing defense is in there. Let's see if I can play a little bit more defense. So can this fill me for $1 credit? If I buy, sell, buy, try this one as well. That's 15 wide. This would be like, we'd have to fall pretty hard for this one to be setting up. So I'm going to go 15 wide by 20 wide and ask for $1 credit. So be risking 400 to make 100, but also getting a $1,500 profit trap. So here is wishful thinking. So pending defense trades on the put side, and then a pending defense trade on the upside for $1,000 as well. That's a 10 wide, puts my break even up to like $16 credit. All right, I'll post the defense trades. Yep, I'll put the trades in. So defense trades, SPX 226 expiration, buy the 6855 put, sell the 6845 put, buy the 6830 put. So I'm putting 2 on the defensive side on the put side, just in case we have another, crazy post NVIDIA swing trade. That one is a 6815, 6800, and 6780. And then the top side, buy the 95, sell the 7005, 7020. All right, so we got 3 defense trades in. Nice, Ernesto. You got 15 wide buck 50 on that. Nice. All right, let me just label this one really quickly. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my DPP for $1.10. It's positive. From this $1.10, similar to yesterday, it's like if that $1.10 is trading for like 50 cents, 40 cents, 30 cents. Yesterday I closed out for 20 cents. I'll probably do the same thing. If I can get 80, 90 bucks out of this $1.10, I'll take the profit. Oh, you did 20 wide. Okay. They're not. It's your own Telegram on that GS or G Smith. It's just a member Telegram. So get your Telegram up. That's real time stuff. Posted at 9:42 and 9:46. So quickest response is just writing your Telegram. Okay. So we are in. Nice little winner on pinch point. We're coming back into that positive gamma zone. I would like to see for the remainder of the day, is it possible that we hit 20 and stay here? Or is it possible that we hit 20 and bounce back up or fall? Let me see what like a reverse iron condor looks like for today. I'm just curious. I don't know if I'm going to take the trade or not, but I'm curious. If I did, so if we break below 20 and maybe 45, if I get $6 on this one, it's like I think we can move more than 20 points today. So if we're below 20 or back above the open, does this trade fill for $6? I'll take another stab at this. So I'm going 25 wide on a reverse iron condor, see if it gets filled for $6. That way I'm kind of playing the middle here. So if there's direction and we are less than 69.20 or we're greater than 69.45, then we get paid either direction, right? This is what the trade looked like. We have money if price goes down, we have money if price goes up, and we have risk in the middle. And that is 25 points wide. The plus minus on the day was 49. Even plus minus right now is 36. So hopefully we get some direction here. Again, it's got to get filled at $6 or else I won't take it. That's not too bad. 25 wide dead zone. I think we get some direction. I mean, the market started. I mean, we have recent highs yesterday around 52. So let's see if this will fill for $6. this, does anybody have an idea like this Iran something or other? Aren't there talks today? Is that what's going on? So I don't know. I mean, if this is a pullback to 69.20, we put in a low for the day. I mean, is it possible that we have like a, bounce here and we're just going to gravitate back up towards 50 plus? Like this market's kind of eager to buy the dip. I don't know. I mean, we're not hitting resistance yet. So to be like, oh, this is a bear move, it's like, there's no reason for it to be a bear move. I mean, yesterday, like the markets were lining up for like sell, sell, sell. Like we just never had a sell trade yesterday. So today it's not a huge surprise that the market's at least getting a little bit of that follow through. I'm just curious how aggressive it is to the downside. That's all. Like, no, I mean, look, nobody wants to see another like 3% sell off. Like those single day moves are not fun. That'd be a sell off of 2.6%. I freaking hope that doesn't happen. Right. I mean, the software stuff is catching a bid. So let's have a look. Let's see what heat map looks like. Let's go CRM. I mean, our profit trap is down here at 170, so we're still looking clean on that one. And again, we're not making money. If the market goes up, we're not making. I'm making 10 cents. Like I'm not excited about that. It's more like if the market is going to turn, do I have a profit trap that can pay me by Friday, right? Microsoft, our profit trap is 382. Oracle, our profit trap is 135. Palantir, our profit trap is 125. I mean, so right now, there's no real risk on these trades. It's just if we're going up, I'm going to make like $20. If we're falling back into these recent lows, we got profit traps stacked up for about $1,150 on Friday. Even a fraction of that is still better than nothing. Are you in the daily profit play classroom? Let me log in and show you. So if you go into your one-click trading portal, you search for your daily profit play. So daily profit play alerts. Get alerts here. This is where you want to click. So if you click here, that's going to be your member-only Telegram. Okay, so this is the Telegram link to join. This is the channel. And these are the trades that I'm in. Pending orders, live trade this morning. So it's in the Daily Profit Play Alerts classroom. Is that right? Let me double check something here. Okay, I'm going to check just 1 second here. I'm going to check my public Telegram too. Yeah, I mean that's the correct invite link for the members. Let me know if that works. That should be directly tied to my daily profit play. Here's the label. So daily profit play alerts with Chris Pulver. That is the Telegram for members. This is my public Telegram. It's just Chris Pulver. Okay. So there's obviously some marketing stuff in here. Hopefully you can all tell when I post stuff. I mean, we did the bonus trades. There's some segments in, I posted this. I posted this. Any of these like fancy thumbnails, that's typically me. Anything that's like, join here, click here, register here. That's the marketing team. So anyway, let me know if that works. All right. So Our little bonus trades for software stuff is fine for tomorrow. We'll manage those more. I mean, the butterfly traps are all tomorrow anyway for those expirations. We'll take a look and see. I mean, here's kind of the measured stuff for the day. So I've got my blue lines above my sell strikes. I am at the 7,000 call. So I'll go up to 7,000 here. 7,000. I'll put this in green. And the other one is at 68.50, which is way down here. So I am hoping that just a typical daily profit play type day is that we are nice and safe. We pulled in $1.05 today. And if price stays in between the blue lines, we have $1.05. If price stays, obviously the blue lines are the market maker based move. We have the green lines, which I'm going a little bit further out on the put side. And trying to get above the gamma that I see on the call side. So if price can stay in here, I will take that $1.05 down to probably 20 cents or maybe down to 15 cents for profit. I'll try to hang out of this a little bit longer. Yeah, Larry. I mean, it's a zero DT, man. It's like we've had lots and lots of indecision. We have lots of like just what the market's down aggressively for the day or it's up. I mean, just bear with me, dude. I mean, if I don't have like a big obvious gamma level, I'm not going to trade a zero day. That's double ups. I mean, I've talked about this in the masterclass for double ups. It's like, I mean, you don't need my permission to trade double ups if you can find something. It's like I use this gamma software every day. Right now it's like, do I have a clear level that I like to trade to? Not really. I don't have like a huge obvious like, hey, I think we're going to get to 69.90 or 7,000 today. That's the double up trade. We don't have it. We have some speckles here. We have some speckles here. Like it's a guess. I don't want to force a trade to trade both directions. I'm just going to chillax for a little bit. Like I just don't have obvious gamma to trade after. So I'll find some trades. All right. Let's see. Daily profit play, still kicking butt. Waterfall income. We'll have a masterclass tomorrow. I'll try to sprinkle in that like 11:30 or 12 o'clock masterclass on the stack strategy. Newsbreakers. We had I think we had 2 or 3 winners last week. What was that? Newsbreakers. I think I had 1 small loss and I had 2 nice winners. I think it was either 2 winners or 3 winners. We lost on DoorDash. I lost like 10 cents. And then we had a 100% winner on Walmart, and we had a 67% winner on Carvana. That was a nice one there. Took a 109% winner on Google. So yeah, we've had 3 nice winners out of 4 trades in newsbreakers. This week was all about Nvidia. I should have considered like a calendar spread, just because well, I mean that's not nothing, but we were like front running the move a little bit. Where'd the week start? This would have been Monday. Oh man, that would have been a good trade. Monday, like 191. I think the market expected like an $8 or $9 move. Today would be like a pretty solid calendar spread. But the trade's done. It's like I would have missed the opportunity because right now you're getting the vol crush. But yeah, that calendar spread would have been pretty sweet on Nvidia. Oh well, we'll get them next time. Microsoft taking off the upside. That's fine. I mean, these are catching a bid. It's not bad. Is anybody surprised to see Microsoft going up? It's like, this is a freaking strong company. This is a, what? A $3 trillion company that's down 25 or 30%. Like, that's not a terrible discount to take some stabs at. I'm still near term. Like, I would not take Microsoft and be like, I'm crazy bullish. I'm not. I would say if Microsoft catches a bid, it comes back into here, and that's a great profit target. And then you kind of wait and see what's next. Because if we come back here and then fall back down, then this is going to be some type of head and shoulders pattern, right? But if it comes up here, consolidates, and then breaks a neckline, you get long, you can stay long. That's a much better trade. But I think right now you can at least catch this run on Microsoft. I think that's not a bad trade. So we'll see. I mean, it's not done. I'm still looking at the 350 handle, the 350 and the 300 handle for those broken wings that I put in. They haven't been filled because I wanted a dollar. I think they were trading for 50 cents. I wanted a dollar. So I'm still letting them sit in my broker platform good till canceled. Okay. All right. What else could we chat about today? Current market sliding a little bit. Be mindful of this gap. If we fall back into this gap, okay, fine. We're clearly giving ourselves a little bit of breathing room to the downside. If we started out, by the way, I mean, we had a plus minus 49. Our strike is at 50. I mean, the market would have to drop 100 points today, which would be a 2x move. Is it possible that can happen? Sure. Is it probable it should happen? No, it's not probable. But is this another like Nvidia comes in, the market just freaking flubs? I mean, come on, man. So, I mean, maybe some support here between 69.15 and 6,900. Just don't get stupid on the day. That's all. What's funny is I wanted that trade yesterday. I wanted that 6,900 by 6,950. Today that trade would be up like almost $33,000 for like a $250 risk. You're up $300 right now. It's like that's the trade that I wanted yesterday. Did I think the first thing to do this morning was to sell? I mean, of course not. But it seems like the market is having this little run to the downside. Netflix, Coinbase, and MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy, I have a couple of accounts that own MicroStrategy. My break even is down to like $200, and so I'm just selling calls aggressively on MicroStrategy to lower my cost basis. What I'd be looking for as far as a trade idea is not catching this bottom. For me, a trade idea is going to be let this thing prove that it comes back up here, gives us some type of bottoming pattern, and then there's a trade on MicroStrategy. So it's like, let's see a bullish pattern before I would say I'm going to get long in this thing. Obviously, if you're looking at MicroStrategy, you're essentially trading a levered Bitcoin. Bitcoin's caught a bit of a bid off the 60,000 low. It doesn't mean that the bottom is in by any stretch. In fact, I mean, if the low is not in, then, I mean, you're really waiting for this trend line. So Bitcoin to really look better to me, we have to hold these lows, kind of work our way up into like 90 to 95K. That might be the chance to get in on a pullback or take the neckline break and stack up some trades up here. That to me is a much easier trade. So long story short is I'm not trying to call the bottom on MicroStrategy. I'm not trying to call the bottom on Bitcoin. If this needs time to figure itself out, maybe it's a falling wedge and then it starts to go higher, there's a short-term trade there. If it breaks this level at around 97, 98K, that trade to all-time highs is a great trade. But until then, it's like, don't guess where this bottom is because you don't know, and neither do I. So MicroStrategy, Bitcoin, it's I'd say wait for better confirmation. Coinbase, you're kind of in the same realm. Coinbase caught a bit of a bottom here. That's fine. What I would consider doing, I had this trade pending on Coinbase actually, is I put in a ratio spread for my Project Options Edge all the way down here. I think I did like a 50 by 40 or 45 by 35. Let me check on Coinbase here. It hasn't filled. Let me check some of these margin accounts. So I've got this is up to like $1. It's trading at 90 cents. So 50 by 45 by 35. So what I'm willing to do is own shares at 45 and own shares at 35. The break-even price. So I would have, let's see, if I own shares at 45, own shares at 35. Oops. So 45 and 35. I'd own shares at $40. I would pull in a $500 profit trap on the ratio spread. So I can split that by, that's $500. So I can split that minus 250. And if I pull in $5, I split that by 250. So I'd own shares. If this trade fills, my break-even price would be $35 on Coinbase. Now, that's not a good sign if we're dropping down to $50. What I'm kind of looking for is, will this, I mean, is this setting up a bigger like topping pattern? Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it is. But if I were to take ownership in here, I mean, where's Bitcoin at? If we came down to this area in Coinbase, where's Bitcoin? That's what I want to know. It's probably not a good thing, you know. But in the short term, it's like, well, I mean, we clearly have some support. If you're paying attention to these lows, like there's a good chance to take a low risk, higher reward type trade. That's it. I mean, it's the lows are kind of in at 150 ish. There's a 140 low. I mean, if you took advantage of that, you got a chance to grab some profit. But I wouldn't chase this thing at 185 and hope it's going to 240. It's fine, but I'd be more interested in like, well, if this low holds, stop loss there, and then have it set up where there's like no upside risk. What the hell was that? $6. Hang on. Oh, okay. My reverse iron condor got filled. All right. I guess this guy is trading. So here's a all right, reverse daily profit getting filled for $6 today. So if we get out of a dead zone, we need to be below 69.20 or above 69.45. That trade, if we get direction on the day where we're below 69.20 or above 69.45, this should offer up another dollar profit. Okay, so Coinbase, MicroStrategy, you're essentially trading Bitcoin. Be careful. Coinbase is a bit more of a bid look to it in the short term. Maybe it pushes up into the 200s, but I wouldn't really do anything longer term on this right now unless it's just way out here. So short term, sure, that trade looks promising. You know, maybe we get to like 200, 210. I still think you need a positive Bitcoin. I think you need a positive Bitcoin in order to see Coinbase go up and stay up. I think you need to see a positive Bitcoin to see MicroStrategy go up and stay up. So if Bitcoin is not going higher, these trades are questionable. So I think it's better just to kind of wait and hang out. Netflix, on the other hand, very different, and Netflix looking a lot better off these lows. $75. We have a 78/70 ratio spread on Netflix that we took for Project Options Edge. Netflix, there's my ratio spread. It shows that I'm down. I pulled in $1.18 on the income side. We have an $8 profit trap. This one's bigger picture, so I'm out towards the end of the year. This is a ratio spread. So I'm just going to hang on to see if the 70 low hold. If 70 holds, then we're in good shape. If the market wants to come back and revisit 75, that's fine. That's a profit trap. So I have basically no risk to the upside. I have a profit trap that is the 70 handle. So from 78 to 70, I have a profit trap, and then I have some risk this way. But I'm willing to own the shares. So I would own shares. Let me do the math on this. I would own Netflix. It'd have to be below 70, minus 8, minus $1.18. I'd own shares at $60.82. Okay, so this is basically my risk on the trade. So if it goes up from here, I'm just going to make $1.18. If it hangs out around these lows, you can see there's some profit potential there in a profit trap setup with that ratio spread. If it comes down to $60, well, we're at a huge discount. Would I own Netflix? Sure. Do I think Netflix is doomed with AI? Not really. If anything, it's like we start making movies with AI and it gets cheaper to make movies and there's more content for Netflix to buy. I mean, Netflix would be down 55%. So, I mean, I'm hoping that it's overall a good trade, good investment. Yeah, let me post it. So I'll post this in. It's a DPP reverse. So I'm playing the middle of the market too. So I'm doing a sell 6920, buy 6925, sell 6945, buy 6940, got filled for $6 credit. This needs direction. If price is greater than 6945 or less than 6920. This is $1 profit for $4 max risk. Trades in. Nice. Pio got 620. Great fill. Good. So you're risking 380 to make one or 120. Good stuff. Okay. So I'll keep an eye on that one. I don't typically love the reverse plays. I don't love the reverse plays because it's banking on the market having direction. The day isn't done. Obviously, the day isn't done. So we're coming into the end of the month, which is tomorrow. If Thursday is going to be, I mean, we've had a bit of a mover, but not a ton. And I just need to see that price is either going to be less than 69.20 or greater than 45. So I'll box this in here. Let me go to the drawing tool, box this in. So I need to be below 20 or above 45. So if price can get outside of this box, we have directional profit. And then if price is inside of the green line and the green line, so this is our daily profit play range right here. As long as price is inside this area, we make money. Okay, so I want to see a little bit of direction to give us a chance to win on that directional play as well. All right, so I will keep an eye on all of this morning. I am rolling out of here around 2 p.m. Eastern time, heading to the airport. So I won't be able to see things close today. So my goal is hopefully we see some profit before the day is done, or at least my kind of office time is done. So looking for some profit here. Obviously looking for some profit here. I'd like to be able to close these up before I head out. Okay, so market sliding a little bit. Here's a little quick peek at the gammas. Live gamma readings, we're at the 50% ATR. Here's 100% ATR, 6,900, 6880, 6870. Again, our levels are 6850. So hopefully it's out of the way. G. Smith, you're next to Purdue. Nice. Yeah, I'll be there. I mean, I'm not getting in until midnight tonight because the only flight into Lafayette is like Chicago at like 10 o'clock Central Time. So I basically fly to Chicago, hang out for a couple hours, and then fly into Lafayette late tonight. There's only one flight in. It gets me in at like midnight. Boilermakers, that'd be Seabass. Any Dumb and Dumber fans? Nice. All right. We'll keep an eye on this one. So $6. See if we can turn some profit here. Taking on a bit of risk on the daily profit play just because we are getting some direction. Hopefully 50 is, safe as a net result today. We've got some defense sprinkled in, so if things get a little dicey to the downside, I mean, again, anything is possible, but it's like, are we going to drop all the way down here for the day? I freaking hope not. Bud filled IC now. We'll double check what defense. I've got some working orders. My defense trades are not getting filled. So the 55, 45, 30 is offering about 10, 20 cents right now, not getting filled at $1. Oh, you're talking the iron condor at $1? Okay. What are your strikes on that, by the way? Was that a 5 wide? How wide was that? Uh, 10 wide, 68.40 and 7,000. Okay. Okay. I mean, most of that's probably coming from a higher VIX, yeah? Let me look at the VIX. VIX at 17 now. I mean, the VIX is ripping. So, I don't know, man. Freaking buckle up, I guess, huh? Buckle up. I mean, the VIX is up 10% this morning, 9.87%, and not showing any signs of stopping. Like, what the F? Gosh. I'm so annoyed that this trade right here is what I wanted yesterday that didn't fill, right? This trade for this morning, it's like, why couldn't we get to 68.90, 68, I'm sorry, 69.80, 69.90? Why couldn't we have this sell-off trade at freaking resistance? Instead, it's like, close enough. It's like, that's what's so frustrating. It's like, I'm not surprised the market's selling off today, okay? But the fact that we won't test resistance, we're just in the middle of all this crap. I mean, hopefully it's kind of serving the same purpose where it's like, okay, we don't hit resistance, but are we going to hit support, or is it going to be just noise? Are we gonna stall in here? Are we gonna sell off all day? Like, I don't know. We'll find out. But the VIX is not showing any signs of stopping. So, calling a bottom today could be a little difficult. Let me see something while we're at it. I mean, defense might be kind of important. I mean, call me crazy, but if it's cheap enough to trade like a big fat profit trap down here, we might want to throw something in. Okay. So I'm going to look at a 6,800. I know this is like way out here, but let's see how wide we can go with like a 6,800 defense trade and see if we need it today. 6,800. So I've got some broken wings in there. Those are fine. I'm going to look at a butterfly. If I sell the 68, 25, and 25. So for under $1, let me see if I can get this trade for $1. I'm seeing this thing like all over the place for prices. 80 cents. 90 cents. I mean, I'm willing to pay a little bit of defense on this thing. $1.05. Come on. All right. So I'm in for a 25 watt defense trade that cost me $1.10. All right. Now, this is going to help me hopefully offset some risk, because if the market is going to be shit today and head down to 6,800, I've got to catch some profit. Okay. So let me see. There's two spots here. 6,800 is a big round number, and we've had the recent lows at 67.75. So let me look at like a 50. Let's go like maybe the 60 by 90 and 30. See if this is cheap enough. All right. I'm playing some defense today, which again, I might not need all this. but let's see if my goal is like just try to win the day, you know? I'll get these trades in just a second. All right, I've got two more defense trades in. They are wide, and one of them's 25 wide, one of them 30 wide. So if the market goes down to major support, we have a $2,500 profit trap and a $3,000 profit trap. So I feel a little bit better about just watching the market go red all day. We hopefully get a big fat mover where we can land a profit trap. Now the bad part is I'm going to be in the freaking airport while this is all taking place. Trying to think. I should be able to manage this in the airport. But let me get these defense trades in. So DPP, DPP, fly, butterfly defense. So SPX 226 expiration. And I have the call side, so a 68.25 call. Again, the nice thing about trading the indexes is you can put them on either side. They serve the same purpose. It's just trying to land a profit trap. So 25 call, 6,800 and 67.75. That was a $1.10 debit. Filled. So max risk, $1.10. Max profit would be $25 credit. Looks like our reverse iron condor is looking pretty good today. Since we need price to be below 69.20, looking certainly promising. And then the other one is a 6,790. So buy the 6,790. Sell the 6,760. And buy the 6,730 for 60 cents debit. Filled. Max risk 60 cents. Max profit would be $30 credit. Right? So if we need it, hopefully it's going to help offset some risk. If I sacrifice those for the day, I'd be down $1.70. But between my daily profit play and reverse, I'm up 205 or 215 or something like that, right? What I get filled on dollar. I got filled $1.10 and $6. So I'd be up 210 and sacrificing $1.70. Now that's obviously a bit of a wash for the day. But if price comes anywhere between, we'll go 68.25 down to about 67.60. This is a big, fat profit trap. So if we're anywhere in here for the day, there's some high reward, low risk setups. But remember, I'm risking 13.90. I'm risking 13.90 on the day for my daily profit play. So if these two combined can be greater than 13.90, then I need to take the profit and win the day. Okay. So I know that's a lot. It's a lot to like wrap your head around. Just think about what I'm doing. Okay. Our standard trade is we need price to stay above this green line and below the green line up here. Right now, it looks like it's not wanting to cooperate too much. The VIX is going like unhinged today. The VIX is up over 10% on the day. It's up 13+%. It's just straight up. Now, does the VIX stall and stop, or are we ripping back up to freaking 22 again? I don't know. Okay. But what I'm going to keep an eye on is if price comes into this big yellow box area, I should see, here's probably my goal is if I can see $1,000 or so of profit traps, I'm offered up to $2,500 and up to like $3,000 at the end of the day. Okay. Now, I don't know if I want to sit here and hold this thing all day. My goal is if I can eliminate up to $1,400 in risk, I'll take the risk off here, and just keep the $100 on the reverse iron condor. All right. So what I'm doing on my chart right now is I'm just kind of mapping out my day where if price is back up into this neutral zone, great. Market, flared down. Let me look at our price action today. We expected a move to stop around 49 points. That was my plus minus in the morning. It's already exceeded it, right? So we're having an inefficient day today, right? So far. Now the market's not done. The day is not done, but right now we opened and this market has already dropped 80 points. Okay. So this is why we plan. And I'm a little frustrated that we couldn't have been closer to like 69. I mean, really, I wanted to be closer to 7,000 to take a sell trade. Like, I'm not surprised the market's selling off. I'm a little bummed that it was at 69, 50 instead of 69.90 or 7,000, but it is what it is. So since the day isn't done, I'm looking to see. So all I need for a winner here is if price can stay below this line, then there is a winner on the reverse daily profit play today. Okay. So we stay out of the dead zone. Price is moving to the downside. That could give me $100 right here. Cool. If we're greater than this green line, I can still get $1.10 because I'm still within my range trade. So there's $210 up for grabs there, and I'm risking a maximum of $1.70 here. Okay. So if I need it, the defense is down here at these kind of critical lows. We've had lots of tests, so this is what I'm going after. If price wants to visit this support, come to daddy because there's a big fat profit trap. Okay. If price is going to, stay out of this little box here, I'm still going to make $100. If price is going to stay above the screen line, below the screen line, I'm still going to make $110. The day isn't done. Okay. U.S. is out of talks with Iran as of now. So is that what's going on? I'm not seeing any real-time anything. Let me check my Discord for real-time news. Let's see. Actors tied to Iran. House Democrats seek Iran war powers resolution vote next week. Iran won't allow enriched uranium to leave the nation. Trump-Xi summit preparations falter as planned gaps unsettling Beijing. All right, whatever. I mean, that's all that, like, this isn't unexpected. Like, the markets know this crap is happening. What we have had is we've had a decent stretch of efficient days, and just the market gets this crap in its system every now and then where it's like, well, it's just going to do something out of the ordinary, and we'll see how ugly it gets, right? So let me see what these, so the 6790 puts, so 6790, 60 and 30. This is a defense 30 wide, and this is defense 25 wide. Okay. So defense, reverse daily profit play, and there's my risk. So while I'm here and hanging out for the day, my goal is if this trade and these trades add up more than the real risk that I have on the day, essentially the real risk is the 1390 that I have right here. That's the risk that I'm trying to kind of cover for the day. So I'm down $300. And we will see if it gets worse or gets better. The day isn't done. Okay. So the defense trades, these offer up a lot of profit potential. Price essentially has to be somewhere around 6,800. If around 6,800, later today, which is another, 70 points lower, by the way, which is pretty out of the ordinary. But if we're around 6,800 today, guess what? There's up to $5,500 of profit potential. So is that enough to offset the 1390 that I have? Sure. Am I going to hang on to it all the way to the close today? Probably not. But if I can get, let's say on this trade, I can get like close to $2,000 in profit trap potential, walk away with enough to cover my risk here, and then still grab a little tiny $100 here. I mean, I think I've got a pretty good setup to still win the day. Okay. I know the bid ask is pretty wide. It is like, look at my prices. I mean, I saw $200, $80, $70, 145. Like the bid ask is going pretty wide. I mean, look, the VIX is up 13%. So like, this is what happens when things are a little wild and crazy is VIX is up and spreads get a little bit wider. But what I know, my job is this. Here's the one way to simplify everything I'm doing today. If the rest of the day looks like this, then I've got a profit trap opportunity. Percentage wise, if we drop all the way down here, okay, this is around a 2%. Look, we've had several of those 2+% moves, right? Every time we've had a nasty day, it's been like down 1.5, down 2%. Well, if we have a 2% move on the day, which is going to be difficult, if we have a 2% move on the day, like that's right in the heart of that profit trap. That should be enough to hopefully grab enough in my butterfly spreads to take off the risk of my daily profit play and still just sit on this little inverse daily profit play. Because this one just needs price to go below or above to win. Looks like we're going to achieve that one no problem today. Okay. The question now is, are we going to see this level defended where the market doesn't go too much lower than current price? And that I don't know. So if it is, going to basically put in a low and kind of hang out here for the day, okay, we might walk away with a winner here and a winner here, and then I lose on those tiny little butterflies. That's fine. But if this is not done and this market's like risk off for the entire day, it's like we know that this could be a 2 to 3% drop. It's happened in the past. It could happen intraday. All right. So let me get a pulse here. Like we got a lot of people still in the room today. This is certainly not a standard daily profit play. Okay. Standard daily profit play was yesterday. What did we do? We had a sell put here, sell call here, price stayed below it. That's an easy win. The day before that, we had a sell put here, sell call here. We had an easy win. Before that, a sell call, a sell put, sell call. We had an easy win. That's what daily profit play is almost every single day. When this happens, we have to manage risk, which is what I'm doing. Okay. So the way that I'm managing risk is not necessarily to try to, double and triple down on the same strategy. What I'm trying to do is put in a trade that offers up high reward to low risk. Okay. So basically I'm risking $1.10 to make $25. That's a big difference. I'm risking 60 cents to make $30. That's a monster difference. I don't know if those are going to pay me today, but if they do, there's a lot of opportunities to make, hopefully over. I need to do this. If I can make these pay me $1,500, then I can take profit, manage my risk, and still have a winner up here and maybe make $200 to $300 on the day. So that's how I'm looking at the day. Is there anything else that I really have to do? Not necessarily. Now I need to let price be price. Is the market going to find a way to bounce? Here's what I will say. If we are outside of this blue line tomorrow, or going into tomorrow's trading, then tomorrow's likely going to be a efficient type day. So usually this type of outlier type move is going to get buttoned up and quickly revert back to efficiency tomorrow. So hopefully Friday is going to be like a straightforward day to finish the month. All right. Any questions for right now? So it's going to be a busy day for daily profit play. But I just have to it's basically a busy day of management. Like my trades are pretty much done. So I have my green lines. I have my inverse or the reverse, which is a directional trade because I don't really care what direction the market takes us. That one's looking pretty darn good today, if you ask me. And then we see if the green lines maintain or they don't. And if price gets really crappy to the downside, we come to these big support levels, this one should offer up some decent profit potential. I'm hoping that this bottom box here, this big yellow box down here, is enough to just offset. I just need it to offset this risk because this is likely going to be a winner. So if I can offset that risk, I will do that. So if my dollars here are greater than the risk here, I'll take that off the table, walk away with a winner, maybe grab a couple extra net bucks profitable. We'll see. Okay. So the day is not done. And that 30 wide is up $30. The 25 wide is up. I mean, it's hard to say. Like the bid ask is pretty wide. This might show hundreds of dollars, but it might be also a difficult trade to fill. What I could do is just set in a take profit. If I wanted to, set some dollars out here, if I put this 60 cents at, let's say I put this at $10, and this $1.10, I put this at $10. Well, that makes me $940, and that makes me about $900. I'd be up $1,800 on these trades. That's more than enough to offset the $13.90 of risk and still have the one trade left. So like I can set those up and just let them run for the day and hope they get filled. But as I'm driving to the airport around noon, that's 2:00 Eastern time. My flight's at 2:30 Mountain time, which is after closing bell. I technically should be able to manage this stuff. I just need to find a decent Wi-Fi at the airport. I can also use my phone as a hotspot if I need to. We'll see. I'll be back on tomorrow. Yeah, I'll run a live session tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm getting into to Indiana tonight at midnight, so I'll be on tomorrow morning. Desktop on Tasty, Christian. This is the desktop. I like the desktop way better. So it's funny. Like I like the web version of Thinkorswim, but I like the desktop of Tasty Trade. Yep. Okay. Before I go, we're gonna play a little daily profit play stream. So if I've got any new traders in the room today, and you want to see this kind of stuff in action, look, this is the stuff that I do every single day. Daily profit play is one of my most successful and busiest services that I run because we get together and we do this stuff every single day. Just giving you the tail of the tape here. We are up 511 winners and 63 losses. Our net portfolio, or model portfolio, is up $83,000 net profit. It's pulled in over $113K in profit with a $29,000 in loss. So we're up like $83K. We started this service about 17 months ago, and we've had 511 winners closed out together. That's pretty good, right? I'd say that's pretty good. And we're doing that all at like 80, 90, 90% win rates. And it is just a process all day. Like it's a process we plan meticulously throughout the day. And a good plan comes together. The most important thing for daily profit play is risk management. Okay. So Gloria says DPP where it's at. Ernesto, are you what? You're buying calls? Are you testing calls? Like, what are you doing? I'm surprised I haven't had, I'm surprised I didn't get filled on a broken wing yet. That is kind of crazy. My broken wing defense it's still like not filling yet. I guess technically because I need price to be down to about, 55 or 45, which is not. The lowest today around 59. That's close-ish, but that defense hasn't filled yet. Buying some calls. Gotcha. Yeah, we'll see. Let me check on something here. That'd be an aggressive V bottom if we get it. Who knows, man? At the end of the day, it's like, what is price going to do? I don't know. But what I do know is that if price is outside of this zone, we have a winner. In fact, let me look at that. Let me look at that directional play right now. The reverse daily profit play is up. Ugh. I was hoping to be up like $50. I'll just hang on to this one for a little bit. We're reducing the risk on our standard daily profit play. The defense trades are kind of out there and wide, but again, those aren't really planned on being winners outside of if I need them. If I need them, I have them. Otherwise, these are throwaway trades. I'm just trying to net out some profit on the day. So who knows, man? This seems like a pretty wild swing already. The market's down, 80 points from the open. We've had an 86-point drop. The day is not done by any stretch. So just chill it out. All right. Yep, I'll be live on Friday. Vienna, not quite. A little bit different. Vienna or Indiana? All right, you've got the 67, 90, 60, and 30 for 70 cents. Okay, good. It's a good debit there. All right. So let me just type something up here. So I'm just going to get a notepad out, just kind of walk you through the day, and then I've got a live stream to go through here. Here's daily profit play. These are some of the numbers that we've done in the master class. I just said, look, let's take our actual track record, right? So I just said, I just use a simple like, look, you're going to sit here and you're going to trade daily profit with me for 100 trades, for 100 trades. If you took with our track record of 89% winners, you have 89 winners and 11 losers with your average win versus your average loss, right? We're making money in every scenario as long as we're pulling in, of our $100 credit, we're pulling in like 55 or more dollars. But the way that we've been taking these trades is I'm trying to make more per trade. Like if we have $100 of max profit, I'd like to make, 75 or 80 of that. That's why we're trading a little bit wider. We're letting price come to us. We're getting ourselves higher probability of profit every single day. But it's hard not to make money as long as you are this. You just have to be persistent, have some grit, have some resiliency. A day like today can happen. Okay. This doesn't mean the day is done by any stretch. Look, if today finishes greater than this blue line and less than this blue line, guess what? The market makers still did their job, right? And this is why we place the trade knowing that this is what the market should do. It should still stay inside this range. So that's why the day isn't done. All right. So we let price be price. Like this isn't done. Well, so we'll figure out where the market wants to take it from here. All right. I was going to do this for the day. So let's go down to the day. So today's summary. Today's DPP summary. So I have a couple situations, right? I have a standard DPP. It's a 15 wide iron condor, $1.10 credit, and I'm risking $13.90. I need price. If price is greater than 68.50 and less than 7,000, it's a full winner. I have a reverse DPP, which is where I'm going in the directional one. It's basically a 5 wide reverse iron condor. This one needs direction. I got filled for $6 credit, and my risk is $4 max risk. I need price to be less than 6.9. What is it? 20? Is it 2.5 or 20? 20. So I need price to be less than 69.20 or greater than 6.945 for a full winner. And then I have defense. These are 25 and 30 wide butterfly spreads. I've got the $1.10 call fly, which is max risk. I have the 60-cent put fly, max risk. If price is less than 6.825 and greater than 6.770, that equals up to $25 to $30 profit trap at end of day. This is my summary for the day, right? So I'm either going to see a standard daily profit play still offer a winner, hopefully enough direction to stay out of that dead zone to get another winner, and that would give me $210 on the day. I'm sacrificing $1.70 here, so I can still net profit on the day. I may not take a full loss on these, just kind of assess. But the goal is, with all this stuff going on, is win the day is the plan. If I can win the day, great. If I make $0 today, that's also fine. Because what we are noticing is, oh my gosh, the market was supposed to move 49 points, it's moving 86 points. Like, stop thinking about like, oh my God, this strategy doesn't work. No, it does work. And in fact, it probably will be fine. Most of the time, these markets are going to be efficient. 9 times out of 10, we're going to be efficient, which is what we capitalize on. So if I can carve out a win the day, I'm happy. You know, I mean, there's a lot more money to be made if price is terrible. If price is down to 6,800, I can make a ton of money today. But obviously, that's more of like there's bigger picture. There's bigger picture drama with that because like, oh, we just had a 2+% sell off. What does that mean? Is there follow through? Blah blah blah. Right. The reverse iron condor is still $6 credit. Yeah, it's just because volatility is it's crazy right now, man. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. One thing, let's see here. So if we get back, I mean, if the day finishes at like 50, I'm just curious. This has to be dirt cheap if I'm going to take this trade. But if we get back to like 68.50, that's where we essentially open for the day. So if I do a 70.30, I want this to be like under $1. I was going to put in a butterfly trap like right at the open price and see like maybe the market just goes down 86 points and finishes flat for the day. I would only take that type of butterfly spread if it was like under $1. So I'm going to sit that one out for right now. Okay, access to the summary. I mean, just take a screenshot. Here's the summary. Copy and paste. That's my summary in Zoom. I've got the standard daily profit play, a reverse daily profit play, and I've got defense trades with those 2 flies. That's the day. So I don't know how the rest of the day is going to unfold. I don't know if the market's going to make fresh lows. I don't know if the market's going to stay, inside the blue line, or I don't know if the market is going to come down and like revisit the lows, but stay here for the day and not close lower. We could still have a winning day. It would be an inefficient day, but we'd still win on our daily profit play. We'd also win on our reverse daily profit play. I just wouldn't get paid on my defense. So the day isn't done. Okay. All right. So let's see. Hang on a second. So I have some new peeps still sticking around. We still have a pretty busy room today. Everyone's just hanging out. A lot of drama, obviously, today with the market. So we've been just grinding hard for, an hour and 50 minutes, which is fine. Iran scenario is negative. Do you have crash insurance? I mean, I always have crash insurance. Always have crash insurance. Couple ways. Look, crash insurance is what I have for the year is I have December insurance that gives me anything if we have like a 10 to 15 to 20% correction. I have big fat butterfly traps in here. I think I paid not that much money. I think I might have paid like $300 for this trade to make up to $30,000. Now that $30,000 is only if price is down in this area nearer to expiration. But the reality is, even if I take $300 and I turn it into $3,000, I could do that with just getting into those ballpark levels. So I mean, what is that 100 to 1? That's 100 to 1 leverage trade, or I should say like a reward to risk trade. But making 100 to 1 is going to be almost impossible, because it's got to be perfect inside the center price or at the center price at expiration. That's going to be very difficult to do. But if it can go offer me a 5 to 1 or a 10 to 1, that's still a good hedge. Okay. So look, I think what we have right now, and everyone's talking about Iran, it's noise. It's all noise. Is the market doing anything out of the ordinary right now? No, it's not. The market refuses to budge. It is still sideways. So what's amazing is look at how much drama is packed into the news and packed into the headlines. and meanwhile the market isn't going anywhere. So don't take the bait of all this noise because nothing is proving anything in price action right now. There is no catalyst that is driving prices higher or lower, and therefore we have to be patient. That is my number one plan for 2026 is be patient. If the market goes higher, great. If the market goes lower, fine. We'll deal with the pullbacks. We'll buy opportunities here. If the market goes higher, fine. Easy money. But there's all sorts of drama, all sorts of noise, all sorts of nonsense while the market's just churning, churning, and churning. So it's all noise. I'm telling you, Iran, whether it becomes something or not, I think there's going to be a de-escalation because geopolitically that'd be the wise thing to do. But if it builds up and it becomes what? A headline news. It becomes, oh my gosh, they're going to talk about it. Or like, who cares? Watch price. You know, if Iran means something to the downside, price has to break here, then it goes down. If price means something here, like price goes somewhere. We are not going anywhere right now. This is all chop. Okay? It's all chop. So we don't know yet. And I'm certainly not going to trade on that hunch. That's not how you trade. Everything I do is risk defined anyway. You know? So that's it. Any thoughts, any questions? I'd like to pop up a live stream. I'm looking to see who else is in the sesh with me. Give me 1 second here. Deanna, are you good? Can we pop up a live stream for Daily Profit Play if we have that ready? And then I'll throw this in Telegram. I mean, this is kind of crazy, right? What an interesting read on 0DT today. All the big gamma was up to the upside, even down here. These are tiny little gamma levels. But we found them, and it's like, do we finish at 20? Do we get back to high? It's like, I don't know. Maybe the market is going to be like a big zero, like a zero mover today. We're down 86 points. We come back to flat. Would that surprise me? Not really. Not really. Would a crazy aggressive sell-off be like a 0-day buy? Not really. I mean, it's like you just have to trust the trade, trust the process, and it's just a trade, right? It's just a trade. So let's see what we have here. We got a little bit of profit on the directional, the reverse iron condor. This one is pulling back to almost no loss now in the standard daily profit play. So we'll see. Day is not done. Day is not done. So all right, got filled 1705 buying call. Say what now? Check those numbers, Ernesto. Like that's way. Not sure what you're doing there. Right, but you've got 6776, 8,000 to 6845. Those numbers don't make any sense. Is that a broken wing? Is that a standard butterfly? That 8,000, like the 8,000s was throwing me off. So you got a 67. I mean, again, those numbers don't make any sense because one of them's 24 wide, the other one's 45 wide. Is that a broken wing? Okay. So what do you want price to do there? 6,800. I'm just not sure what you're doing, man. 6776, 6,800. Like those numbers, those aren't equidistant. So is that a butterfly spread or is that a broken wing? So you get a broken wing. Now you realize on that trade, if you're doing those with calls, you realize that you need price to be back below 67.76. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if we go, I'll look at your strikes. You have a six, you've got to have a 75 then. So 67.75. You said this is in the call side? 67.75, buy. 6,800, sell. 68.45, buy. Okay. So you're getting 17 and change credit in a big fat profit trap, but you need, in order for this trade to be profitable, okay, so you're basically doing like a broken wing structure, like low risk, high reward, but you need price to be back down to like 6,800. So your profit trap in this trade, you have 25 wide here. So that gives you a 25 wide break even, plus you're getting 17 and change credit. So yeah, it's a low risk trade, right? It's a low risk trade, but you, in order for this trade to win, you want price to be, less than 68.25. So from 68.25 below, that's looking great. And then you have a fat profit trap around $4,000 if we're down at 6,800, right? So I see what you're doing. I mean, that is a good defense trade. It's defense. I wasn't sure because at first you're like buying calls. I'm like, okay, if you're expecting directional pushes the upside, but you're just doing a bit more of a creative trade around the that 6,800 handle. Yeah, I gotcha. That's fair. Okay. And again, to me, like that's a defense trade. A defense trade can be a throwaway trade. Look, like I said, I know that I can make a lot more money if the market's down to 6,800 today. I have this trade would be beautiful. This would be 2,500 bucks, and this one would be worth $2,000. So I can make a lot of money on the defense side today, more than enough to offset my 13.95 risk. But I also know that in order to do that, it's got to be perfect and hang out at 6,800 by the end of the day, which I don't know if that's going to be the case. Right now, the market has stalled. Right, VIX is retreated pretty aggressively from 20.58, which also makes me think that we have a VIX at 20.5. We got a high at 20.54, 20.51. So let's take that 20.5 divided by 16, 1.28%. Okay, 1.28% could be our kind of VIX move on the day. And there is a low at 1.25%. Interesting how that's almost perfect. Right? So are we going to see the VIX do this where it flares up and pushes right back down? Maybe. I mean, this is why we do this stuff. Right? So let's try to figure it out. All right. That should be enough to help me. All right. Ernesto says positive on the day. Good. Broken wing. Good. Yep. All right. So here's where we're at. Ideally, this is. I mean, I see ideally. It's like ideally, I'd like to see price down to 6,800 because I'll make $5,000. But the reality is, I'd like price to be greater than this green line, obviously less than this green line, and lower than this box. So I'd like to see price below this box and above this green line. And there's my $200 on the day, 210 bucks on the day. I'd be happy with that. The defense, I can throw it away. I still make money on the day. I'll make 40, 50 bucks on the day. I can, make more if I close these for partial losses, I can make more. But, again, defense might be a full loss as well. The day is not done. So my job is now to hang out and monitor stuff and just spot check. I'll set a couple chart alarms. I might as well set a chart alarm here back at the lows. I'll set a chart alarm here inside that kind of dead zone and just keep an eye on the day. If somehow, I mean, how dumb would this day be if we're up to fresh highs today, by the way? Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. Anything is possible. So if we are up to fresh highs today, then it's just noise. Noise. All right. Deanna, let's go ahead and fire up a little live stream. So we got a little daily profit play live stream. A couple things for me, housekeeping wise. Tomorrow, I will be live in the morning, same time, not same place, but same time. I mean, same Zoom link, but I'm talking I'll be geographically in a different place. Waterfall income, I'd like to sprinkle in a waterfall stack strategy class tomorrow. We had a winner today on pinch point. We'll keep an eye on our engineered options. We closed out those weekly expirations, or I guess they were the 227 expirations for tomorrow. We closed out 2 winners yesterday. And then a new trade this week on project options that's for DIA. So, all right. I will be just keep an eye on Telegram, hang out for a little live stream on Daily Profit Play, and I'll see you soon. All right. Thanks, Yana. There's a risk of loss when trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. The stated results are from live published alerts from August of last year to current. Let's see if we can turn that volume up just a little bit. The options with an average return of 13.72% on a one-day hold. That is a 0-day expiration. Okay. There will be losing trades. We take a lot of winners. We're winning about 90% of our trades, but no system or strategy prints out winning trades 100% of the time. I wish it did. But the purpose of my work is to give folks an edge in the markets. Please don't trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Okay. What we're going to do today is I'm sharing a trade idea that could be worth more than $100 or more every single day. Okay. So in fact, if things go as I expect, it should hit our account automatically within about the first 90 minutes of the trading day. So all I have to do is set the position right around opening bell, 9:35 a.m. Eastern time, let the market tick a few points in either direction. And as long as nothing crazy happens one way or the other, we should see $100 or more hit our account within the first 90 minutes of the day. Okay. And again, this is all based on about $1,000 risk. So I understand that this might sound crazy. Okay. Maybe too simplistic to actually work, but I'm showing you the numbers. Look at our trade from Thursday, August 14th. Anyone place this unique trade, set the position up around 9:35 a.m., go to the gym for the next 90 minutes. What happens? Come back to see $160 sit in their account based on $1,000 risk. How about the next day, Friday, August 15th? Follow along, popped in for a trade around 9:35, hit the trails for a quick ride or just get out of the office. Come back 90 minutes later, see an extra $225 automatically sitting in their account. How about Monday, August 18th? Anyone leveraging this unique trade could set up a position at 9:35 a.m., maybe hype for some friends, come back for an extra $125 just over an hour later. Now that's a total of $512 over the course of 3 trading days. Okay. Based on $1,000 risk per morning. Now keep in mind, these trades are not from a back test. They are not pulled from a study. These are real trades that I found and shared with hundreds of my members and students. Okay. In fact, over the last year, I've posted 400 of these daily payouts live. Like on July 7th, we popped in our trade around 9:35 a.m., spent the morning on the range, come back 90 minutes later for an extra $149 in our account. What about the 21st? Set up a trade at 9:35, do whatever you want to do. Go out and touch some grass. Come back 90 minutes later for an automatic $298 profit in that morning. We didn't have to time our entry. We didn't have to time our exit. We didn't even have to close the trade manually. Our returns were deposited in our account automatically. And I'll admit that something like this really shouldn't be possible. It shouldn't be that simple, but it is. This is thanks to a unique anomaly hidden inside the options market, and it allows anyone to target roughly $100 or more each day. Now, let me assure you that this is not some silly gimmick, okay? This anomaly has been studied by Columbia Law, University of Syracuse, even the Fed. Okay, even the Fed has studied this phenomenon. Most folks don't know how to leverage it, but today that all changes because we have live sessions every day. I'll share the secret behind my daily profit strategy. And in fact, I'll even show you how to set it up tomorrow morning. And I'll do a masterclass on it today, how we target this $100 a day. But not just that, I'll show you how to scale these daily trades to target an extra $200, $500, even $1,000 per day, like a lot of my current students are doing. Okay, so if that sounds exciting, I'd like to welcome you to the Daily Profit Play. Now, if you're in the first live event with me, or if you're coming in fresh, you've never seen me before, you know who I am. Hopefully, most of you in the Daily Profit Plan. My name is Chris Pulver. Okay, I'm a senior option strategist here at Prosperity Pub. As a former hedge fund manager, I manage a multi-million-dollar book on behalf of private clients. Even today, I actively trade more than $4.5 million on behalf of my friends and family. Now, I've traded through the dot-com bubble, the housing bubble, the great financial crisis. I've traded through Brexit, the 2020 pandemic, the 2022 bear market, even this year's trade war, and every other major market event over the last 25 years. But since joining Prosperity Pub, I posted more than 400 unique winners with an accuracy greater than 89%. Now, on average, that's more than one winning trade per day over the last year. Okay. And unlike most trading strategies, the daily profit play is not dependent on market direction. Okay. The market can tick higher, it can even tick lower, it can even stay dead flat. But yet each scenario offers a chance to collect $100 or more within the first 90 minutes of each day. And that's why I'm here today. I'm going to hand you the complete profit play strategy to show you how to implement it tomorrow morning and every single day. All you need is a regular brokerage account and a few minutes to set up the trade each morning. Now, before we get too far along, I want to be clear with everyone. Today, you're going to see a lot of trades and a lot of winning trades. Now, as mentioned, we've closed over 400 winning trades in the last year alone, but that does not mean that losses won't happen. Okay, if the market does something very out of the ordinary, it is possible to lose. So if you decide to trade with us, trade with me tomorrow morning and every single day, do not over leverage yourself. I cannot emphasize that enough, because finding success in the stock market is not about closing one big trade every once in a while. Okay, it's about doing one thing consistently and watching the results compound. And that's what Daily Profit Play aims to do. It's a basic trade that anyone can implement any day of the week. It does not matter if we're in a bull market or a bear market or we're in a recession. All we have to do is set the position up at 9:35 in the morning, let the market tick a few points in either direction. And as long as nothing extreme happens, we should see an extra $100 or more hit our account within about 90 minutes. And it's been proven to work in the best of times. And more importantly, like in 2025, even during the worst of times. And that is not an exaggeration. Okay. Let's jump back to March this year. If you don't remember, that was one of the worst stretches we've seen in the trading markets since the pandemic. Okay. Over the course of 33 trading days, the market lost $11 trillion in market cap. That is insane. That was one of the most aggressive downturns in history of the stock market. Now, according to Fidelity, during that window, the average 401k was down $127,000 in 33 days. Now, if you were trading options, especially long options, good luck, because $1,000 in almost any long option would be worthless. However, $1,000 put into a daily profit play would have posted a very different outcome. In fact, throughout the month of March, we posted 42 winning trades with just 4 losses. That's a 91% win rate during the worst month of the year. Now, for the sake of time, it won't take you, I'm not going to take you through all 40 trades, but here are some of the best ones. $333 on March 3rd, $290 on March 4th, $183 on March 5th, $101 on March 6th, $136 on the 11th, $149, $162, $273, $162, $212, $169. And keep in mind, there are another 29 trades I didn't even mention. That's a lot of winners, okay? Now, anyone who took the trade starting with about $1,000 at stake could have walked away with $6,700 in profit. And that includes winners and losers. That's not a bad little streak there, right? And that's not even the best part, because I don't keep these trades to myself. I trade these live with all of you. I trade these live with my daily profit play students each morning. In fact, one of my top traders wrote in saying that he made $67,000 in about 90 days. This is Larry, killing it. It was awesome. Okay, now obviously that's a huge return. Some folks, $67,000 in a few months could be life-changing, but here's what's cool. You don't need 6 figures to target daily profit plays. You don't need decades of trading experience. You don't need to guess which direction the market's going to go. With just a small trading account, literally a couple $1,000s, you can still target, $50 a day, $40 a day, $100 or more each morning. And in time, we have a chance to scale that to $200 a day, $500 a day. And even a lot of my traders and members are using this to scale in for about $1,000 per day. So when compared to your typical trading strategies, it's a lot less stressful. We don't have to time our entry. We don't have to fight against time decay. We don't even have to close the trade manually. As long as the market ticks a few points in either direction, we should see a daily profit play hit in our account within about 90 minutes. And that's really why I'm here today. Traditional trading can be very hard. There's so many variables we have to get right. You have to time the entry, you have to time the exit, you have to get the right direction. But with this new type of trade, we don't have to worry about any of that. I'll explain why in just a second, but it's the reason that we've won 400 plus trades over the last year. All we have to do is set up the trade by about 9:35 a.m. and let the market take care of the rest. So let's jump back into the middle of May. Now, in this case, the market had just lost $11 trillion, but in May, it didn't lose $11 trillion. In fact, the market was recovering, but trading conditions were crazy. They were far from ideal. We've got gaps all over the place. Markets are super volatile, and all the news surrounding the trade war created a stretch of very volatile days. Now, most traders typically avoid this type of volatility. Most traders have no idea what to do, but with our trade, it didn't matter all that much. The market can tick higher. The market can tick lower and it can even chop sideways. And each scenario offers a chance to collect our profit or more, about $100 within the first 90 minutes of the opening bell. Now, for example, let's look at what happened on May 20th. Despite it being a choppy day, the market finished slightly lower. So there's opening bell to closing bell on my screen. We barely moved, okay? Typically, directional traders would avoid this downward chop, but with the daily profit play, it didn't matter. As long as the trade was set up by around 9:35 a.m., we would hit our daily profit. Okay. In fact, in this case, we hit it about $164 90 minutes later. Not bad. Okay. Let's jump to the next day. In this case, the market opened flat, but eventually closed in the red. Anyone with money on the line would have posted a losing day if you let it go all day. But our daily profit play would have seen an automatic $111 hit their account just 90 minutes later. But what about the next day, June 22nd? In this case, the market drifted sideways and finished slightly higher on the day. And even if you were right on direction, long options and time decay would have eaten into your returns. But with our daily trade, we didn't have to worry about that at all. In fact, our traders would have seen an extra $342 hit their account within 90 minutes of the opening bell. What about the next day, June 23rd? It's the same story. Another $104 within 90 minutes of the open. Let's look at one more. In this case, the market sold off and finished 53 points lower. That's a big sell-off, okay? Anyone trading normal call options certainly got smoked. But anyone using the daily profit play would have seen an extra $234 hit their account well before their lunch hour, based on that same $1,000 stake. Now, despite the market posting 5 different outcomes, up for the day, down for the day, sideways for the day, our trade posted 5 different winners. Anyone who started the week with just $1,000 at stake every day would have nearly doubled it. Okay. In fact, they walked away with an extra $955 just after 5 quick trades. Now, your starting stake, I mean, you're nearly doubling that. If you go $1,000 into $2,000, you're making $1,910 for that week. Pretty crazy, right? Now, I don't want this to sound cheesy, but an extra, almost $2,000 after just a few daily trades would be pretty darn nice in a week of trading. Okay, that's money that could be used for a number of things. Happy hour with friends, a weekend getaway, a round of golf, a mortgage payment, your next Amazon purchase. It's like having this kind of side hustle. And I say this a lot. It's like having the greatest side hustle in the world without putting in all the extra hours. You see, the daily profit play was designed to work in tandem with your life, not alter it. So you don't have to quit your day job. Don't quit, right? So if you have a day job, don't quit. If you're saving for retirement, don't stop saving. That's not what this strategy is about. It's about using a small portion of our current investments to target a daily profit each morning. It's not going to make you a millionaire overnight. It's not. It's not designed to do that. It won't allow you to retire tomorrow. The goal is to target something consistent every single day. I like the $100 or more each morning in hopes to make life just a little bit easier. Now, if you want to target more or less, you absolutely can. We have top traders of all ages, all skill levels, account sizes following the daily profit play. And we have traders like Jim here that's targeting about $100 per day. 2 trades first in. Okay. Now 26, 2-1. Jim's keeping an awesome little, it's like he's a boxer, 26, 2-1. Or Drazen is up $200 a day. Or Matt here who did $440 in one day. We have guys like William here who's pulling more than $1,000 a day, consistently pull in $1,000 to $2,000 per day, no hype, just consistent with risk management on a 40K account. Stick with it. Know your trading platform, learn as you go. William sounds like he's doing exactly what he needs to do. Okay. It doesn't matter what struggles you've had in the past. It doesn't matter if you've lost your last 10 trades in a row. Our daily strategy was designed to target $100 or more, regardless of how the market moves. All we have to do is set up our trade around 9:35 a.m. And in just a moment, I'll explain exactly how these trades work. But first, I'm going to remind you that we are not perfect. Okay. About 10% of our trades have gone against us. Now, with any strategy, there's bound to be both winners and losers, and that is the nature of trading. But in our case, we've won about 8 times more than we've lost. Over 400 winners with only 48 losses. Now, that's not because we're doing anything overly special. We are simply aligning our trade with the daily expectations of the stock market, and more specifically with market makers. Nobody has a better grasp on what might happen throughout the trading day than a market maker. Their entire job, their entire existence is to forecast the day's price action and quote options accordingly. Now, in order to align with them, we use a special metric called the expected range. It's a volatility-based range that represents the market's expected high and low for the day. Okay? Now, the way it works is quite simple. Each morning, the market makers will give us an expected high representing the day's highest possible price, but also the expected low representing the day's lowest possible price. Now, all we need to see is this range accounts for all major events that would likely move the market one way or the other. So good news or bad news, economic data, global tensions, Doesn't really matter. All this stuff is priced in. Any other market events that may unfold throughout the day, it's all based on the options pricing. So here's the thing. Unless something extreme happens, the market rarely ever moves outside of the expected range. In other words, it's almost always somewhere in the middle. And that's where our strategy begins because we don't care which direction the market moves. I don't care which way the market moves. Okay. You're not betting on it to move higher. You're not betting on it to move lower. We don't even care if it does nothing at all. What we need is the market to stay within our range within the first 90 minutes of the day. Usually that's the case. And as long as that happens, we typically collect our daily profit. Example, here's a trade on June 4th. On this particular day, the market maker set the top of the range around 60.20 and the bottom of the range around 59.35. In this case, they were expecting the market to stay somewhere in the middle. Okay. Now, sure enough, they were right. The market stayed range bound all day, and it was good for us and enough to collect our daily profit. In fact, anyone followed along saw $197 hit their account within the first 90 minutes of the day. So you see, it doesn't matter if the market ticks higher or lower or stays completely flat. All that matters is that it stays within the range, which happens more than 90% of the time. And keep in mind, this was not a back-tested trade. I shared it with more than 800 traders, and more importantly, I took the trade with my own money like I do in all of my services. All of my trades is live capital, okay? In fact, I've taken all 400 trades in the trade tracker for daily profit play. It's the primary way that I generate daily income from the stock market. Now, in a perfect world, we can start by targeting $100 per day and slowly start scaling it up to $200 a day, okay, or $500 a day, or even up to $1,000 a day. And the best part is the trade will work the exact same way. The same setup can be scaled, okay? So as long as markets stay within that expected range for usually the first 90 minutes, we should see our daily profit. So here's an example on June 25th. Top of the range was 61.25. Bottom of the range was set at 60.80. Now, as long as the market stayed in between, we had a chance to profit. And sure enough, the market stayed perfectly within the confines of that expected range. Anyone following along would have seen $470 hit their account before 11 a.m. Now, that's really the secret to all of this, okay? The market makers are really, really smart. They set the range wide enough to contain most any major market movement. Okay, that includes swing highs, swing lows, even surprise events that may happen during the day. For example, take a look at our trade on June 13th. The high of the range was 60.50, the low of the range at 59.60, right? That's a pretty large expected range. We're talking almost 100 points wide, but that's by design. It's meant to capture most of the major movements that happen and unfold throughout the trading day. And in the case, we knew the market would likely stay somewhere in the middle or beyond those or inside those boundaries. So sure enough, that is exactly what happened. And if you took the trade with us, you've seen roughly $100 hit your account within about 90 minutes. But notice what actually happened here. The market sold off in the morning, rallied midday, and then sold off again. This actually happened with the Israeli airstrike, but it never moved outside the expected range. And that's why our win rate is upwards of 89%, almost 90%. We know the range accounts for most major swings that happen through the trading day. And you may not realize it, but market makers rarely ever get it wrong because the only way they get paid is when the market stays within the range. So if it moves outside the range, they can lose money on the options that they've sold, and that is why they'll do anything in their power to typically defend it. So a lot of times they'll push the market back within its daily range, like an example here from June 2nd. Top of the range at 59.45, bottom of the range at 58.55. And as long as the market stayed in between, market makers, as well as us, we had a chance to hit some profit. And sure enough, the market stayed perfectly within the confines of that daily range. And anyone that took a trade with us would have collected another daily profit winner. But notice how the market actually bounced off the bottom of the range. 58.55 lows, it bounced right off of that to get back in the middle of the range. So market makers were likely defending the range integrity. In other words, they wanted to make sure that the market stayed within the expected range for the day. And thankfully they did because it's worth another $150 winner with our service. Anyone who took those trades in the last four that I've shown would have had $950 profit with that same $1,000 stake in each trade. If we doubled our starting stake, we'd be looking at another $1,900 in profit for that week, for those four trades actually. And don't get me wrong, that is a meaningful chunk of change, but that's not even the most impressive part. Here's our track record for June. It was nearly perfect, okay? In total, we logged 32 wins and just 2 losses. That's live trading, folks. So obviously that's an insane feat. Very few traders can do that, but we can. We're not 100% relying on direction. It's not nearly that difficult. We don't have to choose a direction. In fact, let me walk you through each week. Week 1, we had 10 trades, 10 winners, 0 losses. Week 2, we had 5 wins, 2 losses. Week 3, 7 wins, 0 losses. Week 4, 9 wins, 0 losses. And week 5, that one day of the week, 1 win, 0 losses. Okay. Total profit for that month, $4,575 based on the same starting stake every single day. So could you imagine what that looks like over the course of the year or 2 years or 5 years? The sky is the limit, which brings me to the daily profit play that I'll share with you tomorrow morning in the masterclass today at 1 p.m. If all goes to plan, this is how we target our $100 or more, let it hit our account within the first typically 90 minutes of the trading day. Now, obviously, we're never going to promise future outcome, so please do not over leverage yourself. I take these trades live, my capital, my risk. Okay, don't over leverage yourself. If you'd like to join me, it's all part of my trading program that we call the Daily Profit Play. Now, you see me in this Daily Profit Plan room every single day. My Daily Profit Play alerts go out. It's all part of this. If you want to be a member, this is what I'm talking about. As long as the market stays within the expected range for the first typically 90 minutes of the day, we should collect our daily profit. Since our inception, it has been a massive success. We've seen top traders of all skill levels, all different account sizes, thrive during even these crazy conditions. Okay, here's Lynn that started with $4,000 and added $15,000 to that. You can scale this daily setup. I'm targeting about $1,000 each day now and winning at a 90% rate. That is impressive. That's super impressive. Here's Randy. I love the daily profit play. I've had 176 winners, 20 losses, gross profit $56,000. It's incredible from Randy. Here's Maddie. Just started with you about a week or two ago. Haven't lost them yet. Made $695 just today with it. Here's David E. $2,380 gross. Had a super day on daily profit play. Here's Ken. 16 wins, 1 loss. Obviously, Chris is great at coaching, explaining, manage your risk, and does it live each morning. Here's David S. Great program. The best program that I belong to. I've only had 1 loss since joining Daily Profit Play. It was small and manageable and came on a day of huge news. Literally, the rest of the days were all winners. Great program. Okay, here's WJB. I've not lost 1 trade of Daily Profit Play program. Sure, sometimes I'll have to wait for it to close, but it works better than anything I have seen. And in total, we've won 400 times with an 89% accuracy rate. Okay, anybody who invested $1,000 in each trade would be looking at an extra $61,000 in trading profits for the last year. And keep that in mind, this is all over the last 12 months with live trades. A few of our very best members were able to get there even faster. Okay, here's Larry again, $67,000 in just 90 days. Larry's made over 6 figures with this service. Best of all, we can target our next daily profit play starting tomorrow. I'll be hosting a live trade session like I do every morning at 9 a.m. The alerts go out to you as a member. Okay, today at 1 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to run a workshop masterclass. Okay, so my plan is to walk you through the strategy. Today's masterclass, especially how to set up the trade, what a reward, what a risk is, and do this in all details. I'll also take some questions. I want to make sure I answer all the questions you have. Okay, and then our first daily profit play will be tomorrow morning, like clockwork. I'll give you everything you need to follow along. I'll even share my screen so you can take the trade with me. I'll set the alerts out in the tracker and Telegram so you have all the details. But here's the thing. The live trade workshop is not just a one-time event. I host these workshops and these live sessions in my daily profit plan room every single day. So as a member of Daily Profit Play Alerts, you get the service, you get the trades, you get the tracker, all with it. So you're more than welcome to attend in live time. I'm live every single day. But remember, this isn't a requirement, right? I also just post the trade alerts. So if I've got members that can't attend live, if they're at work during the morning, you can just take the trade with me in the Telegram channel. Okay. So this alerts includes what tickers I'm trading, what options I'm using, and the trade instructions on how to manage it. And you can read it and decide if you want to follow along. It's live capital. When I take the trade and post it, it's live money for me. So you can expect at least 1 alert, typically right around opening bell, around 9:35, and it's not uncommon to see more. And here's the beauty of the whole thing. We're not bouncing back and forth from ticker to ticker. We're not flipping through dozens of charts. Okay, we're trading the exact same ticker at the exact same time every single day. And if you are new to trading, you can learn how these setups trade each and every morning. I have seen countless traders, new and old, learn this daily setup. I have taught almost 1,000 members how the strategy works. You don't need a degree in finance. You don't need any special skills. You don't need to be a market wizard. We're simply aligning our trade with the expectations of the market makers. And as long as the market stays within the expected range, we should see daily profit. For example, let's jump to our trade from July 22nd. Top of the range was 64.30. Bottom of the range was 63.70. Okay. In the case, the market stayed range bound all day long, and you'll notice it made 0 returns by the end of the day. Start of the day, end of the day, literally the market went nowhere. But that didn't matter to us one bit because that range, everything stayed inside of it. We're able to collect our daily profit. There's a $282 winner. Anyone who followed along could have seen that $282 winner hit their account right after around 11 o'clock Eastern time. Now, obviously, that's a nice payday, especially consider that we're only using about $1,000 to take this trade. Now, let's say you double that starting stake. Well, that payout would have been worth $564. If you put in, let's say, 5K, that payout for that day is worth $1,400. Okay. And with daily opportunities like this, it's easy to see why the new annual membership price starts at $21.97. The publisher said, look, this membership has over 1,000 students. Chris can't handle a live class of 1,000 people per day. So we gotta make this like a little bit more, high end. This was like one of my best value services for a long time. But here's the deal. Okay. This includes 250 different trading opportunities. There's 250 trading days in a year. We're gonna be live every single day. Trade with me live. Telegram access, the trade tracker, daily profit video course, master classes, hundreds of live trade workshops, and a daily profit play handbook. Okay. And a few other big time bonuses that I haven't mentioned yet. But today I'm doing something extra special. All the returns we've shown today were based on $1,000 starting stake. And that's what would have led to gains of $164, $225, and even $342. So to help you get started, I'm going to slash $1,000 off the retail price for a new member discount. In other words, you won't have to pay the $21.97 to jump into this class for the next year with me. In fact, you can just get started with one payment of $11.97. Now, given the challenges we see in the economy, the stock market, and our day-to-day lives, I think that the daily profit play could help relieve some of the financial fears that most folks are experiencing today. In fact, I want to make the price so affordable that we can have a chance to cover it in just a handful of trades. So if you'd like to join me tomorrow for the live session and join me every day moving forward, you'll want to get your credit card ready now. You want to jump into this class. I want to see you in the masterclass today at 1 p.m. I want to see you in the live session tomorrow to trade. I want to see you in the masterclass tomorrow at 1 p.m. as well. I am happy to teach you everything about the strategy. And here's why. Everyone who joins this webinar today, during this webinar, will get access to my personal profit play indicator. I showed this earlier this week. I've got it ready to go for TradingView. I'm looking at it today to finalize it for Thinkorswim, and I'm waiting on the Tasty team to get it in their Tasty Trade charting platform as well. So TradingView, Thinkorswim, Tasty Trade, my daily profit play indicator. This is the very same indicator that I use to find and issue each daily profit play. Now, it will not only plot the daily range on the chart, but it also helps select the trades as well. Where are our highs and lows that we want to focus on trading? And that plays a huge role in our success. In fact, over the next few days, I'll show you how to put this on your charts and teach you how to use it. Now, I could easily charge whatever I want for the indicator, $9.97 a la carte, put it out there on TradingView to sell it privately. But to help you understand this and get you started, I'll include that daily profit indicator membership at no cost. But keep in mind, this is only for folks who join today. So if you want to trade with us tomorrow, you want to jump into the masterclass today, plus you want to gain access to the profit play indicator, go to this link, prosperitypub.com/100. prosperitypub.com/100. You can also click the link in the chat that popped up right now. Okay. All the details on the new membership are on the next page, right? If you want to speak to somebody, we've got a team standing by. You want to talk to a real person, 904-706-3537. Everyone who joins will receive the daily profit play indicator plus a $1,000 discount that could be used towards your next trading opportunity. Over the last year, we've logged over 400 trades. We've had over 400 winners, 400 plus winners with only 48 losses. That's an 89% win rate on nearly 450 live issued trades. Now, keep in mind that happened during some of the craziest market conditions we've ever seen, the worst stretch of trading since the pandemic. And anyone who started with just $1,000 per trade would be looking at $61,000 in profit. Not too bad. So if you'd like to join us tomorrow and every day moving forward, go to prosperitypub.com/100. Now, I want to take some questions in a moment here. I'll get some live questions, but first let me address some of the most common ones. Question number one is, what size trading account do I need to start? Okay, the answer is, for this type of strategy, you don't need $10,000 or $20,000 to get started. Okay, many of our members have gotten started with just a few $1,000 and they've scaled it over time. Okay, so we can take these trades for as little as $300 to $400 buying power. Okay, if you want to risk that same $1,000, again, we'll talk about that on the masterclass today on the rewards and risks. Okay, so Lynn, for example, started out with $4,000 and turned that into almost 20 grand and is now leveraging that capital to make almost $1,000 a day. Right? Question number two, how many trades per week can we expect? Now, I am averaging about one trade per day, but it's not uncommon when I like the conditions and I like the markets, I might average a couple more. So we might see one trade per day on average, but oftentimes I might put in 2, 3, or 4 trades. So example here on August 20th, despite being a very wild and choppy day, we went 3 for 3. Win one was $250. Win two for 55. Win three for 96. And anyone who set up all three trades with us would have collected $401 in daily trading profits. Question number 3, do we have to worry about pattern day trading? I get this question all the time. And technically we get as a, if you have under $25,000 in a margin account, you get 3-day trades per week. So even if your accounts are 25K, remember, you still get 3-day trades. So in the week, you can still trade 3 times. Now, there's already a workaround. There are traders that have account with this broker, and they trade 2 times here and they trade 3 times here. And there's never a pattern day trading flag. So that's the easiest workaround, is having, if you don't have 25K in a margin account, then just have a broker here, and take the trades. Okay. Also, I will say this, I've got some pretty good resources at Tasty Trade. Tom Sazoff and the team, they are pretty confident that working with the CBOE and the CME, and even the SEC and all the regulatory bodies, that the pattern day trading rule is likely going to go away in early 2026. And they say that because, right now it's like you can gamble on anything you want. You watch the Super Bowl, you can get on your phone, you can gamble, you can get on casinos and gamble live. It's like, how are you restricting traders with investment capital to 3 trades per week? So for a decade plus, I know that Tasty and the team, their legal team, has been working really, really hard to push for, it's a silly rule, it's a stupid rule, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a nice win for the retail trader coming into 2026, because most likely pattern day trading will be gone. Okay. But as of right now, you have 3 trade days per week. So you could take, 2 trades on this account, 3 trades in this account, and still have it be a workaround. Okay. So we still get 3 attempts. My favorite way to trade daily profitably, to be honest, is taking 2 trades a week. Mondays and Wednesdays are my favorite days to trade. I've expressed that with Show the Data. I'll show you today in the masterclass. If you're brand new to trading, I find this to be a pretty perfect amount to get the ball rolling, to get your feet wet, get the taste of the strategy, get the gist of the strategy, and get comfortable with the strategy. And, a couple workarounds, like I said, if you want to manage the pattern day trading rule, you can have one account here, different brokers, and they never know that you're taking 2 here and 3 here, and you never get flagged. Okay. So I'll explain more of that in today's session with the masterclass. What ticker are we actually trading? SPX. Okay. SPX, because it's a index related ticker, it offers a huge tax benefit. We're automatically getting a 60-40 split for our long-term and short-term gains. And there's also 0 risk of assignment. You can literally let the SPX go all day long. If it closes out end of day, it's just cash settled. So there's no risk of assignment. What platform and indicator will work on? So I have this indicator on TradingView. I'm getting it finalized in Tasty Trade, and I'm finalizing the deployment today for Thinkorswim. So it doesn't matter what brokerage you have, you're still able to use my daily profit indicator every single day. How do you install it? We'll do that today in the masterclass. Also, our team can help you install. TradingView is easier. It's going to take the script and post it in your Pine editor. Thinkorswim will be just a 1-click download, and Tasty Trade is going to automatically be inside the charting platform. So that'll be very simple. And once it's all ready, I'll put videos in the classroom for that too. Okay. So, we're talking literally like a couple minutes of install. That's like max time. It'll be very quick. If you need additional assistance, you'll have complimentary access to the customer service trade room. Also, the team is live from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. every single day, so they can help answer those questions, get those things installed, and give you some of that white glove service. Okay. If they can't answer it, they'll pass it along to me. Next question, what type of account permissions do I need to enter these trades? Here are what we see. If you have Tasty Trade, you want to make sure you have the works. If you have Robinhood, you want to make sure you're level 3. Schwab, level 2 or level 3. Interactive Brokers, level 3. Most of the trades can be taken with level 2 or level 3 accounts. Okay. We also have a cheat sheet and guide on that. I'll give you the special wording. As long as you're expressing to your broker as your investor profile that you want to speculate and grow your account, and you also have, let's say, 5 years experience, or you've been in the markets, and this doesn't have to be, 20 years experience. If you just say, I'm familiar with the market, I've been in the market with experience for 5+ years, that and speculating and growing your account aggressively, they'll grant you whatever you want. The one thing that might not let you do is trade naked options. So no naked puts, no naked calls. We're not doing that in the strategy anyway, but get the highest permission you can. These are what you're looking for. Tasty Trade, the works is essentially like level 3, Robinhood, Schwab, Interactive, level 3. You can get those pretty simply with your investor profile and what you express. Okay. So if you haven't clicked the link to sign up, go ahead and do that now. It's in the chat. That's prosperitipub.com/100. If you're having any reservations, look, I get it. Trading one strategy each morning might seem redundant. Maybe it seems like it's too good to be true, but the numbers speak for themselves. Okay. I can't think of many strategies right now that have produced 400 live trades posted with nearly a 90% win rate, with a ton of traders that are making a lot of consistent profits, and they show up and trade with me every single morning. That is why I want you to do the daily profit play with me for the next 14 days. That's your money back guarantee. Show up and trade with me every single day. Get in the trenches and trade this thing every single day. I think it's going to resonate. And if it doesn't, call our team. We'll refund you. It's fine. But if you like trading, if you enjoy the process, if you like the idea of a set it and forget it and let the market be the market, it doesn't get any simpler than daily profit play. And although I wouldn't be surprised, or I would be surprised, over the last days here, we've closed dozens of winning positions. Okay. So if you're going to be with me for the next 2 weeks, you're probably going to take some winners right alongside me. This includes winners like $226, $169, $219, $530, $238. And these winners have added up, 400 plus wins, all live, all real money. And if you want to click the link to join us, take your first step. We had the live session this morning. We'll do it again tomorrow. If you want to come into a masterclass today at 1 p.m., click the link and join. ProsperityPub.com/100. Okay. When you do, you'll be one step closer to joining some of my most successful students. Okay. Randy here, 100th winning trade, still maintaining 90%. Dave, and one particular day, this was 24 for 24 over a week. Okay. Since the 19th, this is like 2 weeks of trading. Dave was 24 for 24. Don, win rate is 90.7%. Here's Dan. Cost of the service in just 10 trading days. Joined Daily Profit like 2 weeks ago. Already paid for the service in 10 trading days. Okay, here's Bows. Banked an extra $1,500 in 1 day. Larry here. This is LDM. This is Larry. Averaged almost $2,300 per day in over a 100-day span. Okay, there's that 155K since the program. This is insane. This is that same Larry that did $67,000 in a couple of months, made over $155,000 with the program since May. Okay, best program I've paid for. ProsperityPub.com/100. All right. So if you have any remaining questions, I'll take them now. I see some comments there. That's really nice. I've had 5 trades with Chris. Chris, all them are winners. He's legit. Says Jay Schwan. Let's see here. TradeStation. I don't have it for TradeStation. No, I have it for Thinkorswim, Tasty Trade, and TradingView. If you let it cast settle, it doesn't count. That's true, Bodine. That's true. Yep. Ways to work around that. Here's Dave. Daily profit of the day, 3 trades, 15 wide, 3 contracts eked out for $375. 2 more winnings, 2 more winners running. So that's Dave that you saw in the testimonials here. Dave is crushing it. Dave is seriously like one of the most dedicated Daily Profit Play members, and I'm really happy. What if you can't trade every day prior? I mean, trade when you can. Make it convenient, right? I mean, don't work your whole life around, I've got to join Chris every single day. Look, trade when you can. This is a strategy that I've talked to my fiance about. If she wanted to have a little side hustle and she wanted to trade, I would have her trade on Mondays and Wednesdays. Speaking of, did everyone see that on the screen? That's our winner for today's Daily Profit Play. Like clockwork, it's 10:52 in the morning, and I said within about 90 minutes, it's been 1 hour and 23 minutes, and we just hit our 30% winner. You can't make this stuff up, folks. Okay. So it works. Did I sit here and micromanage my trade? Was I watching in the background? No. I just took the trade, set the entry, set the take profit, and we hit winners. 90% winners. Okay. That like I couldn't have written a better script for that. That was pretty fun. Right here towards the final slides, we just had our winner today close out for about 28%. Perfect. You can do the same thing with me. All my Daily Profit Play members, if you took the trade with me in the alerts, we had 2 winners today. Bear call spread, standard Daily Profit Play, we're out for 2 for 2. Pretty darn good. Okay. Link is not working, says Prior. ProsperityPub.com/100. Let me click on the link myself. Okay. So join the Daily Profit Play. $11.97 today. You're getting $1,000 off. I've got a master class today at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Join me for the live session tomorrow and a master class tomorrow as well. You're trading with me every single day. Okay. Lots of education to go with it. This is my final slide. Let me click on the link in the chat. Deanna, can we drop that link one more time? ProsperityPub.com/100. Clicking on the link here. It works. I just clicked on the link in the chat. This is it. Yep. So that link that Deanna just dropped does work. This is what you should bring up. Make sure you don't have any pop-up blockers or some firewall stuff, but it did pop up. This is the checkout page. So you have 1 year at $11.97. You get pennies on the dollar upgrades if you want to go to 2 years or 3 years. So if you'd like to be with me for a nice chunk of time, you're saving a lot by just increasing the time with me. Look, man, I like trading every day. This is a strategy that it's for daily income. I have never found something as consistent as daily profit play for showing up every single day, making a systematic mechanical trade, letting the markets do what the markets do, aligning ourselves with market makers every single day, and winning way more than we lose. I don't know what else you can do, okay? Because I make this as stress-free as possible. I make this as simple and easy to follow as possible, as long as we understand what we're doing with the mechanics of the trade, where we set our trades to start, how we set our take profits. I literally took the trading this morning and I've walked away for the last, 60 plus minutes doing this session. And we just had our winner close out a few minutes ago. So like clockwork, I couldn't have asked for a better trade. Cool. So the link works. If you have any issues, you can't get the link, then contact our team, support at prosperitypub.com, or give us a call, 904-706-3537. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Good stuff. So market for the day, like I said, we had 2 winners. I'll take that on the day. It was a winner for daily profit play and a winner for daily profit play. So right here, trades that filled. This was $1.05, closed at 75. This is $1, closed at 50. So having a 30 and 50 cent winner on the day, that's 80 cents a contract. Not bad. I'll take it. Do my thing. Right? And that's after the market gapped up 0.5%, hit all-time highs. It threw off all of our values. It threw off all the efficiencies. It didn't matter. We still posted a nice trade today. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, 2 for 2. You said an automatic stop loss. Come to the masterclass. We'll talk about risk. I don't need to use a stop loss for this if you can define the risk. There's ways we can use it. I've done both. I've set stop losses before, but I'm telling you that 0-day trading, the gamma exposure in a 0-day is so exponentially greater that I usually just like to define the risk with the spread. So we'll talk about that more in the masterclass today at 1 p.m. Okay. All right. So again, the link is in the chat, prosperitypub.com/100. And if it's for some reason not working for you, make sure you just give us a call, 904-706-3537, or email us, support@prosperitypub.com. 1 p.m. today. Okay. 1 p.m. today. I'll update this. So we're doing 1 p.m. today is going to be a daily profit play masterclass. Okay. And then 9 a.m. Tomorrow, so this would be Thursday, is going to be daily profit live trading session. And you'll get the alerts as a member. You get all the alerts in Telegram, the trade tracker, everything we did live today for 2 for 2 winners. And another 1 p.m. Thursday will be daily profit play masterclass. Okay. And we will do more and more and more. I look, this is kind of a micro masterclass every single day because we are live, but I want to spend that extra time with all the members. Make sure, look, if you're new, okay, so new members, join me today and tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time for the masterclasses, and type in new DPP in the Zoom chat. So if you join me today at 1 p.m., the first thing I want you to do is jump into that chat in the Zoom room and type in new DPP. And I'll give you a nice warm welcome. All of our regular students pop in for the masterclass. We review the strategy from start to finish. Again, there's a decent amount to soak in here, but I can promise you this. Dave is a great example of a trader that, struggled initially just to navigate the broker platform, had to become comfortable with that first, and then taking the trades, navigating the trades to manage them. And now Dave is literally off and running. If I was the instructor that was holding Dave's bike seat, he is now pedal to the metal, and he's on the half plate, man. Dave's taking 3, 4, 5 trades a day. He's making $300, $400, $500, sometimes even $1,000 a day. And Dave is one of many. We have lots of Daves. We have Dave, we have Randy, we have Mark, we have Larry. We have tons of good traders that are just focused on the process every single day. Okay. And what I can do as your instructor is I can help you understand it all, make very good sense of it, make it simple, make it systematic, make it not stressful. And you know that all we have to do is place a trade and embrace the market. Let the market be the market. I'm telling you, the market forces are way smarter than we are, right? Today's a good example. PPI, markets, who cares? What's the market done? Nothing. The market has done literally nothing in the last 90 minutes. And it's perfect for us to make a winner. Sometimes the market goes up and then down and down and then up. It still makes a winner. It's we just have to trade. We just have to trade. That's our process. So, all right, good stuff. And we'll talk more about this data point here. We'll talk more about the indicator. We'll get everything posted. We'll make sure you're comfortable navigating the broker platform. So all that stuff today at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And then we'll kick it off again today at 1 p.m. for masterclass, live session tomorrow, masterclass as well tomorrow, and then another live session for the trading session. So we'll be live every single day. I think the only time I wasn't live was like late last year in the holiday time and when I was in Australia for like a 4-day conference. Other than that, I'm live every single day. So plenty of trading opportunities, plenty of time together. And I mean, if you want something that's active, that's also not stressful, I can't think of a better way to basically say, hey, look, I'm coming in to trade the markets every day, market neutral, market neutral. The market can throw at us whatever it wants, and we usually come out ahead with the winner, right? Let market makers do their job. They're great at their job. We just have to follow along and join their coattails. Good stuff. Okay. All right. Hopefully I'll see a bunch of new DPPs in the chat today at 1 p.m. for the masterclass. Thanks for being with me today. 2 for 2. I'll take that. That makes us, I think, 7 for 7 for the week so far. And we have more news tomorrow. So good stuff. And we're off to a great start for the week. And I'll hopefully see you in class. Bill, let me get your question there. Do you always set profits? No, it depends on the trade, Bill. If we have a take profit on waterfall, like waterfall, if I'm doing strategy 1, I'll set a take profit. Usually waterfall strategy 2, I don't. Yeah. So I think that's fair. So strategy 1 waterfall, I do set a take profit. Strategy 2, I typically don't because I'm looking to pull in as much of that profit as I can. Cool. Okay. All right, everybody. 1 p.m. today, masterclass. I'll see you soon. Final piece here, prosperitypub.com/100. For some reason, that link is not working for you, then give us a call, 904-706-3537, or give our team an email, support@prosperitypub.com. All right, I'll see you in class today. Thanks, everybody. Great session today. 2 for 2. I'll take it. That's 7 for 7 for the week for daily profit play. Good stuff, as usual. All right, see you soon. Thanks. Bye.